Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for hanging in the wings, guys. I really do appreciate you guys waiting for this amazing interview we're about to conduct right here. Michael Ray Bauer, Mir Musk, episode 31. Sir, it is an honor to finally meet you face to face, well, camera to camera. What?
You're glitching a little, but just chill. It'll come back.
That was speaking of glitching.
The stand fell.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a legend in the performing arts acting field today, Mr.
Yes,
Michael
sir.
Ray Bauer, a lifetime of film and TV. And it's like Mir was saying, it's an honor to have you on, man. As you're getting your stuff set up, man, we know you've been kind of dealing with it. No ATPs. These guys are getting they're in the middle of big storms, so we're just trying to work through, little tech here, but
Right.
Me and Mir are here to hold it down while they're doing it, but
We're always down to hang it down. I mean, what?
All right, it's going to be a little sideways. I have no other clue what else to do.
it's all good.
It's all good, buddy.
All right, let's hope that works. Come on. I'm sorry for all the fans that are watching. I don't know what happened. I got Windows updates and everything right when I logged on, and it ruined everything. Now I have to use my phone because as the word of Forrest Gump in the movie, it happens. What? Shit.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
exactly. That's life, man. You got your
That's
lows and your
life.
highs. You get right when
That's
you
what
think
it
you're all ready to
is.
go, all of a sudden it craps out, and you gotta adapt.
I should just put it on a tripod if I even had one lying around.
If you got one, put it on. I don't know.
Just don't move.
Don't move.
Hold your breath.
No sudden movements, sir.
Trying to see if I got a tripod lying around, which I don't think I have. Not at the moment. And my desk and everything is too low. So, guys, if you think I'm tilting, you're just really drunk.
Yeah, exactly. They're the ones tilted. But
Yeah.
but Michael, I do just want to go off on a little speech here just to say how I really deeply feel about this. Since I was a small child, I've seen you in film, I've seen you on TV, and you've made me laugh from day one. You are probably one of my most favorite actors. I really didn't know as a kid, but when I got older, I started looking more into your career and whatnot. And I started looking at your YouTube. I was like, holy shit, this guy's actually doing something else besides TV. Like, it might be a possibility to possibly get him on the show. And it's just an honor, sir, to meet you finally. For real. It's such an honor to meet someone I've watched on the big screen. It's insane to me right now.
Well, I appreciate you. And like I said a little bit before all the turmoil happened, thank you for the support. And I really appreciate it. Whatever you want to call it, the support that you're helping me with, it helps keep me alive and it helps keep me still fighting the good fight and trying to be a better human each and every day while having a blessed roof under my head. So life is tough for a lot of people. People think because you're an actor and you've had some success and maybe you made some money one year, life is just different for everybody. But I still appreciative of all the love and the support, and I can only thank you forever for supporting me.
Thank you, Michael. You're a beautiful human being, honestly, man. Thank you for that. For real.
I know I am. And girls, if you're watching,
Oh, dude, we got a lot of women. We got a lot of women fans. Yeah.
I see you flexing.
Hey, you got to, man. I want to get married. I guess I'm at that age where I'm like realizing I'm a little too lonely, but I'm putting myself out there and I'm starting to spread my wings and talk to people, basically get out. So we'll see what happens. But
it's been a tough.
I love women. So
me too.
I'm hoping to love one woman officially.
There you go. It's been a tough year for a lot of people, but like especially in your industry, there's been a lot of stuff going on with there's a strike or a break from working. So you've probably even had less. You go from COVID to now where you're not working because everything's shut down. just in your sector, it's got to be kind of something that's running through your mind. Like you want to get out there and see people now, I assume.
Yeah, but I've grown into a hermit more so than normal. And, whatever issues I had growing up, whether it be depression, anger management, mental, all of these things, when the older you get in life, it seems like they come out more.
Right.
And then because you're older and unhealthier and whatever the situation is, you struggle dealing with it like you did when you were younger. When you were younger, I could brush it off. I don't care. I'm going to go do this. But now, since COVID, I lost my father. I don't want to get into all the depressive nature of the reality of the world. But, I've lost pretty much everything in the past, let's call it 7 years. And it's hard to come back from that. When you lose everything, now you're living on your own because you have to. I had to leave or remove toxic family member from my life. And then I don't create or generate enough income truthfully because I'm a little bit lazy or I don't do as much as I should. And I let the barriers and the weight of the world get to me. I become like Boogie 298 or whatever. I just watched that documentary the
I saw
other day.
Boogie fall apart. Yeah, Boogie's falling apart. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I watched the documentary and boy, I was crying because I'm not saying I'm exactly like Boogie.
You're not.
But all of the feelings and situations, whether it be financial, mental, feeling alone, and making bad choices, not to make my life better. I was watching it through him.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to think, why do people hate me? Or why are people constantly trying to expose me or call me a liar or whatever they do?
Mm-hmm.
And then I know some of that's because I open up too much.
Right.
I give people
You give too much
ammunition of my real feelings, and then they want the best for me. And I know they all do. And it hurts them to see me living a self-pity life or a depressed life, even though it technically is that way. I need to see the brighter picture, the bigger picture. And I've been really struggling to do that. But watching this documentary, I was like, am I Boogie 2988 2.0?
Right.
And I was like, man, like I watched it just 2 days ago and I was like, I need to change my life. That's why it sounds really stupid. I could have wore a sweatshirt for the interview. I could have just worn a regular t-shirt, but I said, get dressed up. Try to look as nice as you can, for this interview, present your best possible personality for this interview, and let's move forward in life from this spot. Even though I have fears about all these podcasters of the troll community, the expose community, I know they like me and they're comedians and they call it comedy. But sometimes when you dig into people and you try to, reiterate or say everything they did or said is a lie, that's a negative space. It's a really negative space. And I don't want to be a part of that community. So I try to distance myself from it, but it's hard to.
Oh, yeah.
But more importantly, moving forward, I know these people are good people. They just found a niche in that podcasting realm or whatever to make money off of critiquing. And of course, I deserve to be critiqued. And I don't want to be exposed if I ever do lie or anything like that, which we've all done it. I've lied to make myself look better. Right. I'm a human being, like I've definitely done it and I shouldn't have. But I want to move forward from this point. Again, I'm trying again. I failed many times. I'm probably still going to fail many other times, but I'm trying again. And I don't want a documentary made on me of a
for the wrong reasons. For the wrong
self-pity
reasons.
like Boogie, know. So, but it scared me. It might have saved my life, man, or at least put me in a better mindset. So,
well, you just saying this and verbalizing it and admitting like, hey, this has bothered me. Things have I need to make a change, and then even putting out like, hey, I want to get married. I want to have a wife. I want to do this. Like
I want to
putting
succeed.
that in the ether or in the ethos Yeah, like that's what's gonna you got what you put out comes back to you. So
Exactly.
I think you're already going in the right direction with it all. And it's tough, especially if you're a single guy. And I've heard things about LA. It can be a lonely place. So you've been through it, working in this industry since, God, you were in not quite diapers, but you were a youngster, right? What age was your first acting role?
My first acting role was actually when I was like 8 or 9 years old, but I'm sorry, I might have been 6 or 7. Forgive me. I am getting old, and my brain is not a lie. It's not lying. I just sometimes I don't remember anything correctly because I have an overactive brain and it thinks too much. But I think it was either 6 or 7. But I was on Universal Studios lot doing a tour, and they were filming like an episode of 18, and they needed like people to be in the background or whatever, and then they just told me be a background actor or whatever. Then they threw me a line, like cheering them on, oh hey, or something like that. I don't remember what the line was, but that was my first job. But the truthful situation is, around 12 years of age, around 11 and a half, after I did some stuff with Glee Club in my high school, I officially found an agent and went that route. And then officially my first job was like probably 11 and a half years of age. And so, yeah, so, I've been acting pretty much my whole life, but officially probably 11 years old.
Incredible. And was that first? I was just looking at your IMDb. I mean, I know you from Salute Your Shorts, but I saw you had a role before that. You were in Webster. Is that kind of
Yeah, I did man, if any of your listeners are good at finding episodes through the archives or whatever, but yeah, I did an episode of Webster, 2 episodes actually. They were the season 10 finales. It was called The Web Touchables, and it's based off of Elliot Ness and The Untouchables, and they made it with like little kids on the finale of the entire Webster show, and I play like the mayor, like a corrupt mayor of the town. That's funny because I'm into conspiracies and
You
political
are?
division.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll talk about that.
Okay.
But
We'll get into that.
yeah,
We'll get into that.
I played like a corrupt little kid mayor on Webster, but I can't find the episodes ever anywhere. It's not on DVD. Nothing's going on. So if anybody finds it, DM me, send me a link. If I have any money, I'll give it to you, or I'll give you a T-shirt or whatever I got. But I need that episode. I want it for my archives.
So I need that shit, man.
Yeah.
Hook a brother up.
The rookie performance. That's
a lot of people collect, the old school shows, and they have them sometimes on either DVD or VHS or somewhere. So I'm just hoping to find it.
So, Michael, I kind of want to ask you a question here, sir. What was it like being on set in a Hollywood film, like in the industry, actually being on set? Was it kind of like, I would say, was it daunting on you when you went on your first set? Was it like everything that you dreamed of, or were there some drawbacks you couldn't really, you're like, oh man, I didn't really expect this? How the way they're working like a workhorse? Was it, a lot of, they worked you for hours on end? How was it being on set for the first time? Did you enjoy that at all or no?
I mean, it's kind of like a loaded question because at certain points of your actual life, you have a different mentality for every situation.
Right.
So, I mean, it's great to work on sets. It was a dream come true because I've always loved TV and movie and film. And when I officially got my first job or second job, whatever, yeah, I mean, I did the job and I didn't really think about it. My first real job
right
was on Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. And I knew it was for Michael Jackson. And it was his documentary company, Sony Studios, and they were making like a music video remake of the video Bad, but with little kids, and they had little kid dancers and stuff like that. But
right.
I was not a part of that faction, but they were also filming the little kids recreating the Bad music video, but they had behind the scenes. So they hired like a little kid director to direct the fake project. They hired like crew members that were little kids.
What the fuck?
And it was like a what
It's
do they
like
call
kids
it?
bops. It's like kids bops, kind of.
Yeah, but you could also, they were filming the behind the scenes of the filming of the kids video. It's so
Okay.
weird, but with little kids. So everything in Michael Jackson's world, now looking back, was all little kids. You know, so you got to think to yourself.
No, hang on a
But
second here.
but yeah, it was definitely an experience because
Right.
I met him kinda.
Okay.
I met his monkey Bubbles more so than him, but I got to see him, got to be around him, and all that energy while knowing he's the most famous human being in the world. And that was my first experience with a technical real job. So it never aired. It didn't make the DVD like cuts because where are they going to put the music video behind the scenes with little kids? You know, where are they going to put that? I don't know. But we did, and I'll just give you this story.
Yeah,
We
go ahead.
did go to we went to the premiere at Neverland Ranch. They
Oh my!
invited
You
all
went
the
there,
people.
bro? You went to
Yeah,
Neverland
that's what I'm
Ranch?
saying. Like
Holy
looking back
shit.
now at my life, like how
You got
amazing is
lucky.
that?
You got lucky.
So we went to the premiere of the Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, and they showed the whole movie and the music videos and everything. And
Right.
he had a carnival rides everywhere, and popcorn, and it was the most memorable thing that I remember was he walked like on a stage. He had like a little stage area. He had his security and everything, and then he walks out. Hey, like I want to thank you everybody for coming to the show, the premiere. I want to, you put in your hard work, whatever he remembered. But here's the quote that I remember the most.
Yeah.
He said, "Go play, go frolic. There's no rules. There's no rules in Neverland."
Well, I don't want to hear that from Michael Jackson if I'm a little kid.
There's no rules.
Exactly. Hey, exactly. But my mentality back then was like,
Fuck yeah!
I didn't
Let's
know
get
any
it.
of that stuff. Like, we're in Neverland. But now looking back, and I'm going to make a sick joke, and people are going to use it, but I'm not. I shouldn't say
He goes, no, wait.
I can't say it because I have too much anxiety, even about making jokes. But
Right.
it's just funny. But
So
I love his talent. I love Michael Jackson, and I think he changed the lives of a lot of people. And I'm not talking possibly in the bad way. I just think the world, when everybody's a superstar, there's always good and evil. And I can't say that he did this or did that or whatnot, but it's weird. So he was needed by the world for a lot of good things that didn't come from him and the music he made. And then the unfortunate part is there's possibly those tragic stories of abuse or whatever. But that's the world, good and evil. It's a constant battle for all of us. And whatever side we choose, whether we choose to be more good than evil, that's who we become.
ATP,
Okay, yeah. So
no,
let me,
what year was that about? Because you said I know Bad came out, I think 87, 88. So it was just like 89.
Moonwalker was 88, I believe.
88,
okay.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. So,
yeah, I was like 12 or 13 at the time.
I'm the old guy in the group. I'm 2 years younger than you.
Yeah, what's your name? I can't even read it on the phone. ATP.
Well,
okay. What's up? Nice to meet you, ATP.
My business. And I actually have a Raiders blog called RaiderGreats.com. I write.
You're the Raider fan they've been talking about.
Yeah. And my real name is David. So,
pleasure, David. Pleasure.
Yeah. So I'm a big '80s music guy, right? So, I obviously I remember that album. I would have been 88. I've been 11 years old. So yeah, I obviously remember that. So
yeah, that's kind of how I. Sorry,
Webster wasn't a kid though. Webster was a grown ass man, right?
Yeah, that's true when he worked. But that's how I became an actor. Basically, I have a video on my YouTube channel, but I think it's in the members only section now. But it's called "How I Became an Actor," and you guys kind of know how I did. But I worked with Quincy Jones, man, and that's how the Michael Jackson Moonwalker type of job came around, and how I got my agents and all that. Because I was doing Glee Club in my high school, not high school, my elementary, and we wrote a play called "We Are the Children of the World," and it was a musical, and I got the lead. And we wrote songs like "We're Gonna Make a Difference," "Oh yeah, just a little bitty difference," and we did a can drive to collect money for the children in Africa that were going hungry. Because we
Right.
were told to make a play based off of current events. And the current events were like hunger in Africa. And then we did the play. Since it was in LA, it got popular. It made the newspapers. And I was the lead. So they kept shelling it out like every weekend. And so they're like, can we make it more? So then they moved it to the LA Children's Museum, and the school was benefiting from it. Then all of a sudden, Quincy Jones showed up one night, read about it in a paper or something, because he was making We Are the World, or he made that or whatever.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
And then he comes down and then he talks to all of us and he says, hey, can you guys record the We Are the World song, like as a chorus with my castmates? So we did. We got paid for it. We got contracts.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I still to this day think we're the kids in that song.
No way.
Singing,
You're part of those kids and that shit, bro. What?
We sang that song, bro. Like we did.
If you got a contract and got paid, I would assume you're
holy shit.
You're the chorus of that song, you know? Yeah.
Correct. But I'm sure they added more people, like other people besides my little, 10-person glee club. But that definitely put me on the map. And so like the show got real popular. Then Quincy Jones invited us to the White House with President Reagan to perform. And we did it for one of their dinners where they asked for like $500 a plate or like $1,000 a plate or whatever it was. So we all flew to the White House and we did the event in front of them. And then it got like some media coverage. And I wish we had technology because I could have recorded some of these news reports, that might have been on TV in Washington or wherever. But I got back home and boy, I had agents knocking down my door like,
oh shit.
Because I was the lead in the play, like it was all about me.
Right.
And I know I did a great job. So I didn't have no money, and agents are like, oh, we'll get you auditions, we'll give you this. You got to go to acting class, you got to buy photos, you got to study your craft, you got to take headshots, and my dad's like broke as hell,
He's
working
like,
three jobs.
Yeah,
and my dad's like, yeah, we can't do that. And then one lady, bless her heart, she said, I'll pay for everything for you and your family, and I'll even help you out with bills or whatever, take you to auditions for like 3 years. And so she basically funded me like to become an actor. And that's the true story of how I became an actor. And then right around that time, I guess Quincy Jones or whatever, contacted my agency and said, hey, we got this movie called Moonwalker. It might have been a year or so later, but we got this movie. Would Michael be willing to be a part of it? I didn't know what I was going to do when I showed up, but that was basically my first real job. So I'm in the whole Michael Jackson lore. I'm in the Quincy Jones lore. And what a blessing to have worked with and met some amazing people.
I was going to say, on Quincy Jones, there's a lot of conspiracy theories with him. Have you dug into any of those?
No, give me some, because I love this stuff.
I don't know. I'm not.
When it's people that I respect and saved my life, I'm like, should I check them out? And I kind of like them.
And the story with him is like, I guess he's so powerful that in Hollywood, like he's like the #1 guy. Like he makes everything happen.
Oh yeah, him and Oprah and all that adrenochrome stuff. I don't know if Quincy's doing it, but what's the conspiracy? Sorry, I cut you off.
Well, I think there was something with him and a couple other maybe musicians and actors, and that in the Afro-American community, and they were all
you see how the world has got us? We're afraid to say black. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, all the black guys.
That's how the world is. It's so scary.
But there's this whole.
It's a color.
It is a color.
Can I say a color?
Negra.
You'd have to look into it to get all the details, but basically he would kind of, I don't know, like buck break him or something, or like maybe like take him from behind, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, so you're saying the theory is that he's like either a bisexual or a gay gentleman.
Yeah, kind of. But then he also kind of has control over all the people that he ends up
like
taking.
A Harvey Weinstein type of shit.
Oh, you mean is he pimping them out?
Yeah. Basically, he's pimping on.
Oh, okay. Shit. Well, good thing I'm ugly.
Like Will Smith.
Good thing I'm ugly because he didn't have the chance to pick me out.
What I remember about Quincy Jones, there was another black artist that criticized him.
I'll be right back, but I can hear you.
I guess he marries or dates white women, and like he got criticized by another, I think famous. I'm looking. I'll go look at 1 second. Oh, it was actually Tupac Shakur that said that, right?
Yep. And there's a rumor with that that led to
my computer looks like it's working again. Yay!
Awesome. Well, we're flowing here, but yeah, there was something.
Yeah, we're fine here.
There was I guess
you
they had a
good,
beef.
man.
So I just didn't know if you knew. I honestly don't know tons of it. I just had heard some stuff back, when I was deep in the conspiracy game, 2020, 2021. Hearing everything. I had heard some Quincy stuff. So, but he's supposed to be like
you guys you're very unique. Like I don't know that much about each and every one of you, so forgive me for that. But Lil Mir, I know you do NFL recaps. Are you a rapper as well?
Yes, sir.
So is it a career choice or just a hobby, or like
just a hobby? I work in aerospace.
Ooh, I don't believe in space, bro. Like I got a lot of questions about all that stuff, man. Maybe we should do a debunking video because if you work in aerospace, you either know the truth or you contribute to the lies.
Let's just say I'm helping the Ukrainian war effort. All right, buddy. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, it's going great.
Bauer, you got to be flat, right? Once you go flat, you never go back.
You got to keep it flat.
Look, I mean, people, they want to expose me. Oh, you're crazy. You're this. But let me be honest with you guys. Like, I'm no scientist, but I don't think we have to believe all scientists and all their damn numbers. And I don't think we have to constantly believe in institutions that can possibly be corrupt, like a NASA or whoever. And I want to feel connected with Earth, whatever it is. And I know we're being lied to in many areas. I cannot say completely if the world is, and I hate the word flat, but it's a plane of existence. But I just don't believe a lot of their proof and what they show. And it feels like, to me, I can see it, that it's fake or possibly like common sense. But again, when you're brainwashed and by the institutions from growing up, when they put a globe in your face from the day you hit the school, it's just interesting. But I love all these stuff. I love studying it to the best of my abilities. And I cannot come out and say specifically, I believe it is not round. I cannot come out specifically and say we live under a dome. I cannot say that space is not real.
Right.
Again, but I have all these thoughts.
If we land,
and then I have a lot of things that I consider factual or clues that would lead me to thinking that maybe that is how the world is, but we're being told a lie.
Yeah, and if you study it from like an epistemology or like using logic, you really can't prove either way. So that's where it gets interesting because there's so much emotion tied to it being round, like what people learn when they're like in their early development ages of like 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah,
and they teach you about dinosaurs. They teach
the
you
universe.
About the
universe is not even how they teach it in fucking kindergarten and shit. It's like a corkscrew and shit.
Oh, Mir, sorry. Going back to the question that I always get off topic. I just wanted to say, like I said, being on set was an amazing thing, but at different points in my life, it might have became a job and I didn't want to do it. Then other points in my life, like I was very proud to be there. But I love it all, and I love every experience I've had, and I'm hoping to do more. That's my honest answer.
Okay. So I got a quick, crazy question. Go back to the lady that's helped support you guys. Are you still in contact with her at any point, or did you kind of drop off with her?
Yeah, no, she was my agent for many years, and unfortunately she passed away many years ago. But she definitely was one of the most angelic people in my life to really help me out and put me on a path. And again, whether Hollywood is evil or not, behind the scenes, I didn't really experience a lot of that stuff. But now looking back, and I understand it, and I have been around it, but I never chose, or I was never chosen to technically be a part of it. in that world. So I choose now. People are like, why do you want to go back to Hollywood? Why do you want to continue acting? Because it's all I know. It's who I am. And it gives me some sort of peace and accomplishment. But do I want to witness the dark
darkness.
side? I do not. But it is there. It
Yeah,
is there.
It's with anything though. There's always darkness around the corner. You know, you never know. There's always something waiting for you. You know.
It's a super cutthroat and very subjective, nepotistic type business. So there can be some of that, and then there can also be the illusion of some of that from people who feel slighted, maybe. So it could be it's a combination probably of all the things where like there is a club to it. You can see where there's like, oh, this guy's an actor, his son's an actor, his grandson's an actor, his great grandson's the starring man. Now it's like
My last name is German. And Hollywood is filled with, I don't know if you can say it anymore, so I won't. But
Jews.
He's Jewish. Yeah, you can say Jews, dude.
Yeah, but I was always wondering that since Hollywood it was built by that faction.
Yeah,
I always worried because my last name was of a German descent, and I was always worried that I would like never get any jobs or anything like that. But to be honest with you, I don't think that had any sway in anything that I know of. Because you would think they wouldn't want to hire German, last names or something like that.
Well, I mean, the Jews that the Germans killed were Germans. I mean, besides other factions, I mean, just because your last name's German doesn't mean you're not Jewish. You never know.
Yes, you look at your history. There's a lot, just like there was a lot of German Jews before World War II, so you could have a German name and be Jewish.
I think you have something that makes sense why you fit into Hollywood, because you have that thing where when you see you on screen or in something, you get attention.
Right.
They call it. They call it like it,
basically. Yeah. So like I used to love Salute Your Shorts, but thinking back on it now, I remember Pete and Pete, and I remember Salute Your Shorts, but the only guy I really remember from Salute Your Shorts, even though I watched it all the time, was you. Like
everybody loves the fat guy. Eat a candy bar, be funny. Eat a candy bar, be funny. That was every audition in my teenage years. Eat a candy bar, be funny. Eat a candy bar, be funny.
Is that for real? Is that a real thing?
Dude, it's like John. I'm Canadian too. It's like John Candy. A lot of those John Candy movies, you don't remember no one else in those movies, right? Like like Uncle Buck,
Chris Farley.
Can you name like another actor that's in the movie? I guess
I could because I'm a movie fan.
Kid, but like it's like other than like I don't know the names of those actors or whatever that are in Uncle Buck, and it's even he's got a small role in the Blues Brothers, right? And I remember that because it's John Candy and he's like the fat guy, whatever, even though it's just a small role, right? So,
well, the truth of that is again, Hollywood has to put you in a niche. So when I was becoming an actor, they're like, "Oh, you have the charm." Or, you're funny, or you talk funny because I have a list and this and that. But they were always like, oh, you could be the next, early on, what was it? You could be the next John Candy. You could be the next John Belushi.
Belushi, yeah.
Then who was the next one after that? Oh, you could be the next Chris Farley. You should be on Saturday Night Live. And then after that, then it was my boy Jack. Oh, you could be the next Jack Black. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be the next anybody. I'm just hoping to be alive the next day.
I hope I don't OD on heroin or whatever with Chris Farley.
Well, I don't do any of that, but yeah.
Yo, Bauer, did you ever come across that Ethan Suplee guy?
Yeah, I love Ethan. I mean, Ethan's a great dude. We were competition for many years.
I was going to
say.
And
then we finally officially started working together.
Yeah, I was going to say, because my daughter was watching Boy Meets World the other day from way back in the day, and he was in that, and I'm like, dude, this guy's been in, it's kind of like you, but maybe even more. He's been in everything.
Yeah, here's a little story I found out the other day, if you don't mind. I love telling stories, and I really appreciate you guys giving me
You're a great storyteller.
Just to talk. Thank you very much. But they have a podcast for that show, Boy Meets World, and my boy Blake, who was on Salute Your Shorts, they did some interviews, him and Ethan, recently for that podcast. And I just found out through the original actors like Danielle Fishel and stuff like that, and Ben Savage, I had a reunion and we met everybody again. But apparently I was going to be given the role that Ethan had, but they already hired Blake, and they didn't want two Salute Your Shorts people on the show. And then they also loved Ethan as well.
Right.
So they're like, you know what? We love Blake so much. Let's have Ethan because we don't want a recurrence of a Salute Your Shorts thing coming to this show.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if that's factual or whatever, but they told me, and it inflated my ego, and it made me feel like, yay, I lost another big job.
Yeah. I assume he took a bunch of them because he'd always pop up in that bit role that like you kind of served too.
Oh my God, he took Remember the Titans from me. I went
No,
5
wait, no,
auditions for that.
You worked with him, didn't you?
Yeah. There's a long story with me and Ethan, and I'm so proud of him. He's worked on his life. I don't think he's admitted it, but he had a stroke.
Oh shit!
While we were filming Evolution, I don't know if he's admitted it or if it was a real stroke, but that's what I heard.
Yeah,
but we were in the car together, getting driven home, and he was having a really bad health day, and we were in the like limo that took us home or whatever, and he was just really bad. Like you could see it in his face, and then all of a sudden he was gone for like 10 days. From the filming, they had to stop production a little bit. So I think he might have had a real bad health issue. But he's gotten his life together. He's losing weight.
Yeah,
he's on that positive track. And he's hit me up and let me know that, you know, if I need anything to
just reach
go
out
through it. But I can't do as much as he's done. I don't have it in me, but I'm so proud of him. But yeah, we're competition, bro. Remember the Titans?
Yep.
He did
Evolution.
a fantastic job. What was the other movie that I lost? The Butterfly Effect with my boy Ashton.
Oh my God, he took that from you too?
Yeah, dude, the audition.
Oh.
I was doing some really crazy auditions back in the days. I forgot the name of the technique, but it's like it's either the Meisner or Strasbourg, where you live that life before you do an audition. Like you become that person for like a couple days or a week.
Yep.
And so I became the gothic character for Butterfly Effect, and it was like luckily I get to see producers sometimes and writers and directors without meeting the casting director sometimes the first time. So it was my second audition. It was like a final audition, like my third one. Sorry, it was my second audition. And then I just put on a whole gothic outfit. I went to gothic nightclubs like 3-4 days before the weekend before the audition. And I'm like, you know, trying to get into that idiocracy demon mentality for that role. And then I wore a trench coat. And I think right around that time, they had the trench coat mafia or something happened with whatever that was.
Yeah.
The shooting or whatever. And I had a trench coat and I'm walking on Hollywood Boulevard to the audition in a trench coat, wearing all goth outfit, you know. Women did the audition, and then long story short, they hired Ethan. He did a fantastic job. I don't know what happened.
So, Michael, I got a question for you. What's the most prestigious film you ever interviewed for? Was it Butterfly Effect, or was there something out there that was even more prestigious than that?
I consider Remember the Titans the role that I could have died for, because I'm a football fan.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to be in a football movie. I also went a little decently far for Friday Night Lights. But yeah, that was the movie that I just knew I wanted it. And
if I can ask you a question, you don't have to answer this. So I've always wondered, because we know these big name actors like that are the stars like Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt, and they get their
I don't know them, but yeah, I know Brad. I've met Brad a few times.
Yeah, they get their $20 million a movie. So if you just get like a bit role in the movie, like what do you usually make? Is it like $5,000, $10,000? I've always been interested in that because you see these people that are just, like those type
We're not supposed to talk about it. It's like Fight Club with Brad Pitt. We're not supposed to talk about it.
Yeah, I've always just wondered that though, because I'm like, you see people who make a living out of that, right? Like just having all these bit roles.
Yeah, and on the low end, they have like a scale, right? Like if you say a certain amount of words, then you automatically have to get X amount, and then so they have like it for a certain amount, but then like Ethan's probably getting, when he does a movie where he's kind of like that guy, like Remember the Titans, he's probably getting a decent check, right?
I mean, yeah, I'll give some insight into my knowledge of all of that, because everybody's contract could be different depending on your agent and your manager and whatever jobs you've had before. But let's say you're a starting out actor, you just got your SAG card, or however you did that, and you get one line in a project. And again, I'm speaking from the 80s or 90s, but nowadays a daily rate contract is somewhere around $1,200 for a movie part. That could be one line, two line, it's 1 day rate. But again, you got a manager and an agent, take 10%, 15%, depending on how it works. They take it away, plus taxes in California. You ain't making that much. But again, then if you get a weekly rate, it won't be at $1,200 a day for 5 days, which is your weekly rate. It'll probably go down to $900. So therefore, you're getting a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 weekly rate for 3 days, for 3 days or more. And if it's more than 3 days, they have to put you on a weekly rate. So it gets really complicated. But long story short, we don't make a lot. Commercials back in the days would pay more than any movie role could have, if even a small part, because commercials with residuals, you could make $30,000 to $50,000 on one commercial back in the days, as opposed to getting a $1,500 job on a movie or a TV show with a couple of lines, and then when it re-aired, you probably get another $800 to $1,500.
Yeah.
And it might have aired a third time, so you get another $800 to $1,500. So you basically made like $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 on that small part.
Damn.
But if you did a commercial, you could, the immediately payment for a commercial is like $4,000, and then it will definitely air for 2 or 3 months. You could clear $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in a commercial. So that would make your whole life or your whole year as an actor,
right,
to have that income. And I don't mind talking about paydays.
No.
I don't think it should be a taboo subject.
It shouldn't be.
But,
I mean, most of it shouldn't be to some aspect.
No,
well, it's the more
it's an open forum.
the more popular. Oh, go on.
I was like a bit of a movie buff growing up too, and I would just see these guys like. Do you remember the HBO Gotti movie? You can just find it right on YouTube. It's great. It's
I know. Isn't that with what's his name?
Armando,
the actor Horshack.
Oh, yeah.
Armando
not with
plays Gotti.
Armando Sante, yeah.
Oh, he played Gotti. I thought the other guy from
and the thing about
Welcome Back, Kotter or Saturday Night Fever. I thought he played Gotti.
Yeah, he played it in the remake.
He did a remake. That's terrible.
Yeah,
but the HBO one is great. And actually, a lot of the guys from The Sopranos are in that because it's HBO, and I think that's how they got their jobs in the Sopranos. They were in Gotti. But I looked at Armando Santi's career, and it was like this dude has just like been like before that Gotti movie, basically just role, like a bit role like actor. And that he's in his 70s now. He was probably 50 years old. I think that was 96, that movie. So it was just kind of like this guy almost had to wait till he was in his early 50s to get like a leading role. But he obviously made it a half decent living. So I've just always been interested because when I watch this and you see like bit actors reoccur all the time, you're kind of like, how are these guys actually making a living and how well are they doing? Especially because, as you know, LA is an expensive place to live as well.
Well, it does get bigger. So kudos to your point. When you see recurring actors or you see actors again in multiple projects in a year or two, it's a threefold system because the casting directors, they have to hire actors and they get a role. Maybe it's a small part, but their job it would be to bring in the new actors and give them a job or an opportunity in the industry. But they also want, I want a veteran. I want somebody that already has a little bit of a face that we've seen in 5 other projects and let me bring him in, So I don't really have to cast, beginning actors because a casting director's job is to present a writer, a director, and everybody with not only new actors or new talent, but also veteran. It's like football players. They go from team to team because they know how to do the job. They've done it before, and they'll do a good job if you cast them. So I've become like a veteran actor and a little bit of a face or a voice. So then they bring me in, or sometimes they just give you the role. Hey, we got a part on this tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills show, Michael. Peter Engel loves you. He's worked with you 2 times before. We got 3 lines in this episode. Do you want to do it? Yeah, I do. But because I've already worked as a co-star on other shows, and my rate might have been $1,500 or $1,000 for that day, now because they're just hiring me, and my last rate was $1,500 as a co-star, they have to up it by 20%.
Okay.
So now my daily rate as a co-star is like $1,700 or $1,750.
God damn!
So
all right.
That's how they make money, or that's how actors gain popularity and get higher income per project.
I got a question for you, sir, real quick. So here's something interesting. So you got an up and comer, right? You're a veteran, like you say, on the set. You have an up and comer actor, thinking they're trying to get a line in, who knows what. Have you ever had anybody kind of buddy up to you a little too much? You're like, hang on, dude, you're coming on too strong. You're a young actor. Or have you ever had like an extra do too much extraing, and you're like, come on, guy, what are you doing here?
I mean, everybody's. Thank you for the question. Everybody's character is different. I'm not typically a judging type person.
Okay.
As I come from low means, I come from a place of reality where I understand that like this is a dream come true.
Right.
And I try not to have a big head, but of course I have narcissistic features. But I mean, I've had people that bother me that I don't click with, or I kind of want to remove myself. Like, you know what? Literally, I'm sick and you're talking too much.
He said you're talking too much. Calm down.
But I'm the same person to other people.
Right.
When I'm excited or when I'm talking conspiracy theories.
You're genuine. You're genuine.
Yeah, I'm the same person to them. But I hung out with the extras, the background actors, more so than the main actors. Because again, main actors or those popular people, they tend to have their own, trailer or their own room.
Makes them better than somebody.
I don't know if they think that, but they definitely live that lifestyle where, you know what, I don't need to walk around. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good, sir.
A little bit.
No problem.
You called me, sir. Oh, what a blessing.
I'm sorry. I'm only 26 years old, so I'm trying to be. My mother taught me to be, professional and be nice and be polite towards, my elderly people. So
you're a definitely unique person in today's society.
Thank you.
Because
I appreciate that, sir.
This world is not teaching the right stuff anymore. But long story short, but they would just go to their room and they got to study their lines for the next scene or whatever it may be. But I think I'm a man of the people, or I try to be. Sometimes I promise people the world when I knew I couldn't deliver. So that would resort back to me possibly lying or whatever. And I don't know why I did it back then. I guess I just wanted to feel like I had something to give. People would be like, oh, I want to be an actor. How did you get this part? I've seen you in this. And, can you introduce me to your agent? Can you can you help me? I'm like, yeah, no problem. Give me a call. Yeah, man, I love you, brother. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, I just forgot or didn't care. But I feel bad about it. And then they write blogs about me. He's an asshole. He told me he was going to do this, and he never did this. And, well, you are being correct. I'm not an asshole.
Right. That's everything, though.
I promised more than I could actually deliver because I was trying to be a positive person, and I messed up, and I apologize. But growing up, loving girls, I always talk to the girls. I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, do you recognize me? What's up? Hey.
Hey.
Can I get a kiss? Do you think I'm cute? What's going on? I'm Douglas.
What about that switchblade hair comb?
You got that up.
How you doing?
You don't have to be famous for that. You got to tell the women what they want, even if it's borderline.
I know, but it's a power structure, though. It is a power structure, like you guys were talking about with, what was his name? Bob Weinstein, the guy from Mir Musk. And again, when I read these stories, the women went up to his room and they did an interview, and then he abused them. And I'm like, I'm smart enough to know I'm not going to go into a hotel room for an audition. I'm not going to do that. And I know things that come with it. And I'll be honest with you, I've had auditions, legit auditions, that have been at somebody's house or in a hotel room. I'm not saying it was of the bad variety, but I knew, I was like, if it's not in an office, like in a studio or a location, I'm like, I'm not going in. You know, I can videotape myself at home, send it in, but I'm not going to walk into a person's property or house or do something in their living room where I'm exposed, or I'm not going to go to a hotel room. It doesn't seem professional. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So that's why with the women and the stories that I heard about the Me Too and all that, I was like, these women, you got to say that they knew 50% of what might have been expected from them. 50% at least.
What do you think is going to happen when you go to a fucking an empty room with a couch on it with a guy saying, "Hey, look, can I film an interview?" What do you think is going to happen? Come on, we've seen Cassie Couch on Pornhub enough times.
It's a power structure. You know, they want some power. They want to get in the industry. He has the power, so he knows he can abuse it and he can get girls to his hotel room. So, you know, that's what he did. So
Right.
Sometimes I'm very proud of, I don't think I have any power, but I meet people still to this day. Hey, I grew up watching you, or you're very cute, or you're very handsome. I'm like, all right, my power's still there. I got a little bit. But I'd definitely be like, hey, what's up? What you doing? Booty
Right.
call? I'm like,
So
sorry, I'm just being real. That's who I am. I'm a lonely guy.
no, you're good. So I heard you're into conspiracy. Oh, go ahead, ATB. You had something?
Yeah, before we get into the conspiracy theory, so like, and what do you think about also like being like, say, typecast, or even that, or like the big name actors get so famous? Like, I don't know if you saw the Elvis movie with Tom Hanks, right? It's a good movie, but I don't really like him as Colonel Parker, because right away I was like, that's Tom Hanks playing Colonel Parker. You know, like,
you are a good movie fan, man. You're going into details. I love you, brother.
Yeah. So like, so what do you think about that? Because some people might just think, oh, that's Donkey Lips, right? No matter what you're in, like.
Well, the show wasn't that popular. That's a little bit of a narrative that like people need to like get out of their thoughts, because the show was not that popular. It was not on ABC. Was not on NBC. It wasn't on prime time. It was on cable, and the most concurrent viewers that we had knowledge of was 200,000 in one episode.
They played it all the time.
Yeah, again, that's where it reached more viewers. So I'm sure by the end of it, it reached anywhere between 3 to 7 million somehow,
Jesus.
form or other. But it wasn't that popular of a show, and
what's Donkey Lips get? 2 cents a fucking show? Those bastards.
No, I don't mind telling you guys. I'm gonna give you guys an exclusive. Fuck it. We'll do it live. I made. It was an AFTRA contract, not SAG, but now it's SAG-AFTRA. But back then it was an AFTRA contract. That's the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, and they were a weaker, cheaper contract than SAG.
Right.
And our contract was initially for 7 episodes. Well, we did a couple pilots and whatever. It got picked up, but it was $1,500 an episode.
Okay.
And I had a manager and an agent, so one of them was 15%, the other one was 10%, and then California government or taxes.
Yeah.
It might have been. People say, "Oh, it's only 10%." No, that's when you buy food and stuff. They put you in a different bracket. They put you in a bracket like for 50. They think you make $1,500 a week. So they put you in that bracket, so it's like 20, 25, 30%. So long story short, I always lost 50% of my money somehow.
Yeah, they break
So
up.
I was making $750. I was making $750 an episode. We only did 6 episodes. Then we got picked up for another 7 on the back end for the first season, and we had a 2-year deal. So the second year, it was the same amount. And then we only did 13 shows the second year. So long story short, we did 26 episodes. Let's say I made $1,000 each.
Okay.
That's $26,000. That I've made. After that, and yes, we get residuals, but it was a weird residual contract. They could air every episode 4 times for free. Then on the 5th time, we have to get a residual that starts at the payment that we received for doing that episode. So the first 4 times they can air an episode free. But then the 5th time, $1,500 is allocated for that 5th time. But then it comes back on a cycle. Now they can do that episode again 4 times. And then the 5th time again after that time, it goes down a percentage, like 2 or 3 or 4%. So
Right.
it goes from 1,500 to 1,300 or 1,400, whatever it may be.
Okay.
And then that's what they kept doing for all those years. And then now we're at the range where we're getting like,
You never asked for a
They don't
raise
air it
at
that
all or
much.
more money for that shit?
no. So that's what happened going into the 3rd season. There's
Okay.
a lot of other issues that arise with that. Like the writers needed more money. They left the show. They walked out in the final 3 episodes, and they were having problems with Nickelodeon. And Nickelodeon, I think we got $1 million an episode to do, and they thought that was too expensive. So if they have to pay the cast for a 3rd season, they just weren't willing to do it, and so they shelved it. But they did ask me and Danny Cooksey to move to Florida for the Nickelodeon studio if they were going to create a show for us, or something like a sketch comedy show or something like that with me and Danny as
Right.
some of the leads. But they didn't offer us any more money. Basically a $1,600 contract, like we said, from the Nickelodeon one. But now they're saving money because they don't have to film it in LA and they have their own studios. But we had to get our own housing. I had to uproot my family.
Fuck.
I was
what?
graduating around that time. I had to go to Florida. I had to
Yeah.
get my own housing, pay for my own apartment, and then still give money back to my family in California off of $1,500 or $1,600 an episode
That's not
for
working.
for another show.
Right.
And then we only had a guarantee of 13 shows
Fuck
for
yeah.
that show.
Right.
I can't do it, so we turned it down. And then a year later,
All
Keenan
bad.
and Kel,
Oh, Keenan and Kel. Okay.
or the couch show. What was it called? Snick.
Oh,
Nick
Snick,
and
and then
Night,
all
Snick.
that. All
Oh,
that.
all
was-
that. That's the
yeah,
show
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
about a
that.
year or so later, it was all that.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the show they wanted us to be on because Danny has a good history, and I'm an improvisatic comedy actor. And then they added the redhead kid, Danny, my boy Danny,
Yep.
Yeah.
Tamborelli from Pete and Pete. They added him on
He's
that show. And again, maybe I was the Keenan, the fat kid, the Keenan, and
He was the
maybe
fat
Danny
chick, too.
Cooksey. Maybe Danny Cooksey would have been the Danny Tamborelli on that Nick at Night or whatever that show was called again.
All
What did you
that,
call it?
yeah.
All that, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's what happened, man. That's the story,
Wild, man. So you
and
kind
that's how much money I made. There you go.
After
But
you
now
got-
I get residuals of like I just got like 20 residuals because it's on the internet. It's on Paramount Plus and a couple of places, streaming or whatever. And I got like 20 something residuals, but they're all honestly between 12 cents to 55 cents at most.
Isn't there a bar in LA if you get like one of those like
Yeah, residuals.
Yeah.
Residuals.
There's a bar
There's a
in
bar.
LA called Residuals.
You could give them your residual check for like 12 cents and they'll give you a beer or whatever.
They give you a free drink, yeah.
Free drink, yeah.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
But now the residuals have to be over $2.
Okay.
That's
I don't know what they did. I
You know
went
what?
to that bar like 4 years ago, and then I brought in a 2-cent residual, and he's like, "No, I think it has to be over $1 now." That's what the bartender told me. So I was like, "You're not gonna cash it, so it doesn't make any sense. How does it have to be over $1?"
Right.
He's like, "I don't know. That's what they told me."
I just
So-
work here, man.
So once that they gave you that offer to go to Florida and then you kind of turned it down, that was kind of your end with Nickelodeon, right? Working with them?
No, I mean, I got a bunch of auditions. They had a Nickelodeon Studios out here, and then they started creating, a few years later, some other shows like with Ariana Grande, and then or the Wizards of Waverly Place,
Mm-hmm.
and I kept getting like producer auditions for those shows, for like a small character or whatever, but for some reason they never hired me again.
Isn't Wizards of Waverly Place? That's like is that Nickelodeon or is that Disney?
That might be Disney.
I think
but
that's Disney. That's
I
Disney.
probably associated it with
It's
Nickelodeon.
It's all kid shit. It's all kid shit. It's the same.
Yeah, but I definitely had some other Nickelodeon show auditions a few times after, in LA. But they never really hired me for any of them.
Why?
So,
I mean, my thing is though, you seem like a lovable entity. You have a great character. You're very bubbly. You're very, you're easy to talk to, and you're very joyous. You know what I'm saying?
thank you.
Is there something about your character you think they didn't want to hire onto these kid shows at all that might have deterred them from that? Or what do you think was your take on? Because you probably auditioned for a good amount of them, right? Like you're saying.
I mean, there's some good talent out there. At the end of the day, I'm just going to say this. Every actor that got the job deserved the
it.
job.
Yeah.
They earned it, and they got it, and that's what the Lord or fate had for them. So I will never take that away from anybody. Whether I think I could do a better job or not, which I do, just because I believe in myself. But, everybody got their job. But speaking on that, something has come to light recently, and I don't mind speaking about it.
Right.
I have a unique voice, and I've had some instances, and people always tell me, why have you not been in more cartoons, more voice acting roles? Your voice is so unique and so distinguishable from others and this and that. And I've had major agencies tell me that I am not good for that industry. And then I question that. I'm like, what?
Right.
Everybody tells me, they love my voice, they love everything about me. But yet you are one of the biggest agents or people that would give jobs like that. Why? So I had to sit down. This is a few years back, maybe about 8, 9 years ago, when I was struggling to, find work and this and that.
Yeah.
And then they said, look, Mike, you can definitely do a job on a TV, movie, animation, film, whatever, video game, all that stuff. And you'll do a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
But your voice is so unique. Unless you have the true talent of doing thousands or hundreds of different characters without that voice, you're a hard cash.
Oh
Meaning
shit! So
you're
he's
so particular with your words and the way you enunciate.
Your slang.
Unless you're so professional that you can literally get rid of it 1,000%, you're a hard cash because it becomes too recognizable. Oh,
Right.
he's talking with a lisp on every cartoon, and he's that guy.
People
They
kind of
said-
like that though, as fans and like as fans of those shows. Like when I watch, when I hear somebody I know, I'm like, holy shit, that's that guy, and I want to watch it more. I want to check out that character. I don't.
That's the
understand that.
exact. I love you, brother. That's the exact thing I
Yeah,
told
that's
her.
what- I don't understand that shit, man. I like it when I can actually hear the actor somewhat.
Well, she gave me an answer. So I told her the same thing. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm semi-famous. Like
Great.
they love my voice. I go, I understand. I can't do a million
We're
characters.
not here for the character. We're here for the voice, cunt.
And I said, but no, I loved her. But I said I could do like 3 or 4 voices and parodies and this and that, and I can definitely work on it,
right.
because I want them to accept me into their agency. And then she also said, look, it's a very good question. You can definitely work, Mike. We can get you some work. But we're about getting you the big work, and we want you to be an everyday person. So you're a little bit lower on the scale for us at this moment. But in terms of movies and what you just asked me, she said, movies nowadays, this is back then, she goes, they're trending to famous actors that are so recognizable, they get the lead in every main character.
Yeah.
And she goes, unless you're really relevant right now, like on a sitcom or in a movie or 5 movies, you are not going to get those roles. And she goes, I don't want to put you back to one line in an animation, because if it's one line in a movie or one line in an animated TV series for one episode, she goes, we have already hired actors that can do millions of voices, and we just give the job to them. You're in the category of being a popular actor, but you're not popular enough, and then you have the issues where you're too niche. And at the end of the day, I understood what she was saying, so I had to accept it. But then they started hiring me for video games. I think I did Bully, was one of them. I did Star Wars Old Republic,
Old
Grand
Republic.
Theft Auto.
That one.
Oh shit.
Again, I didn't have any characters though. See, as an actor, I went in, they
Red
paid
Dead.
me.
Red
Yeah,
Dead.
Red Dead Redemption, whatever it was.
Super dang.
They brought me in. They have scripts, and I read everything. It wasn't one character. It wasn't this. It wasn't that. And I read it. And then I did voices like, hey, chatter in the background. Basically like a voice actor, just, what do they call it? Where you make noises or whatever. So I did everything, but I got a, $800 paycheck for 3-4 hours, whatever it was. And then I don't know if they've ended up in the video games or I don't know. I still get checks from some of them, but they're not that much value. $75 here, $30 there. But apparently, I was a character named Eugene in Grand Theft Auto, but I've never finished the game to get to that point.
All right.
And I never finished or played Red Dead Redemption. Never played Star Wars Old Republic to see if I'm an actual fucking Jedi. Because I read a bunch of different roles and I read a bunch of different lines. So in all honesty, I don't know what the fuck I did. So if you guys can record it and send me the tape, if you think it's me, let me know.
It's probably you. Jesus.
I'm gonna find your Webster episode. I'm good at that kind of stuff. I'm gonna find.
Oh, I love you, brother. Hey, find me another show called Running the Halls.
Can I?
They only aired on NBC. Running the Halls with the creator of Salute Your Shorts. He made another teen comedy, kind of like Saved by the Bell, called Running the Halls, and I'm in a couple of episodes of that. And boy, I need it for my archives. But you can't find it. I gotta call NBC. The truth is, I gotta call NBC. These people contact their archives, and I gotta say, can you guys print me a copy? I'll pay $150, whatever you guys need for it, and then I can hopefully get that episode, from my archives. I don't know how to do it.
Bauer, can I ask you about one of my favorite movies of yours that I can see in the background when your camera moved like that?
Sure.
Dude, Where's My Car? How fun was that movie to do with that cast?
That was my same reaction about a year and a half ago when I walked out to my car, couldn't find it. I was like, dude, where's my car?
Well, you live in LA, man. You're taking your chances out there.
Right. Yeah, no, they towed my car.
Yeah.
Tow truck company. I didn't find out for like 10 days and whatever. It's a whole conspiracy type video.
Dude, I was the
I
age.
just don't have a vehicle right now, so it's really sad because then you don't have enough money to buy a vehicle. So it's just a sad situation. But yes, that's the dude with my car.
Right at my age where I was like, before I was like a real teenager, but like I went to it like 5 times in
Right,
in
you're
the
young
theater.
enough
I
to
thought it
be
was
like-
the funniest thing ever. And I remember your scene, and of course, Ashton was in it, Sean William Scott, who blew up and did amazing things with American Pie. You guys all were kind of in that era of like movies that kind of went, and I just loved it. But how was that working on that for that part?
That was a beautiful audition. Rest in peace, Danny Liner, the director of that one. He also made Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. He passed away a few years back, but rest in peace.
Shit.
But it was an amazing audition because I don't think they brought in a bunch of actors, like popular actors as well. I remember being in the room with Seth Green. I know Seth a little bit.
You know
as well.
Seth Green? Shit, all right.
Yeah, I've done like 3 movies or 3 projects with him, and we grew up in North Hollywood, the San Fernando Valley together, and he was afraid of me during my gangster days when I was going bald head and trying to get girls, and I was like, "Orderly, what's up, homie?
What's up, homie?
What's up,
It's me, Michael Bauer, homie.
You sound like a
Yeah,
real that.
Get to my
I saw-
automobile.
Oh, guys, you got me thinking of stories, man. So I was bald head, hanging out with Mexicans, wearing chains and stuff. I don't know. I was living that lifestyle. I was Miklo. From Down by Honor, blood in, blood out. I was Miklo. But I drove to a Kinko's one day to get copies of headshots or something one day.
Yeah.
And I was rolling in a Thunderbird, man. I brought a Thunderbird. I put rings on it.
Not a Thunderbird, bro. Oh,
Yeah, Ford Thunderbird with a supercharger, man. I thought I was the shit. I had a little bit of money.
All right.
And then I drove up to a Kinko's, right, to get some copies. And then there's Chef. Chef is hanging out, like, probably waiting for copies of something else as well. So I drive up blasting like, some,
You're leaning
I don't want to call it ghetto music, but like
You're leaning
a
back.
Cadillac on chrome. And then he looks at me and I'm like,
What's up,
because I knew who it was. I'm like, what's up? And then, because I'm bald head and I don't think he recognized me. Then I park and then I get out and I'm like, what's up? What's up, Sensei? And then he goes, did you call me a term paper? I'm kidding. And then he just looks at me. I'm like, what's up, Shaq? He's looking at me. I'm like, it's Michael. Oh, I don't know. And then he just hopped in his car and he drove off.
No shit.
Then I got in contact with him like a week or so later. I'm like, dude, why were you afraid? I'm just a gangster. I'm just a former actor turned gangster.
I'm just a gangster.
Just a former actor turned gangster.
Oh my god.
And
Well,
then he was just laughing. He's like, was that you? I go, yeah, it was. Don't be afraid of me anymore.
Don't be afraid of me, Rice. I promise. Let's go back into the question though. So before I interrupt Seth Green asked,
dude, where's my car? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic audition. They didn't know what characters. They brought in a lot of famous actors, and I remember I was in the room with some quality talent.
Right.
And it's funny. I'm sure me and Seth talked about that story because that's the story part. I was bald in Dude, Where's My Car? So that was my gangster days.
Yeah.
So long story short, I did the audition, and they told me I was like a policeman or a security officer. Or I originally auditioned for one of the characters. Then they brought me in again. They did mix and match for one of the big characters. And then Ashton and all them were in there, and Seth was as well. I didn't get that role. Then I got a call back for a third audition. And then they said, oh, you're a policeman, this and that, or a security guard. Or there was no lines. It was just like improv. And we did a scene.
Right.
But then I left, and the director flagged me down to my car. And he goes, Michael, he goes, why did you not use your list? Why did you not be yourself in the audition? I go, I thought I was being like a security officer or whatever. So I wore a mustache, or I had a mustache, and I wanted to be like a cop, hey, sit down.
Hey, what you doing there?
He goes, Mike, it's a comedy movie. I want you to be your best security guard officer with comedy into it.
Right, with the list.
And I need your list. Bring back your list. That's one of the funniest things that I love about you. He goes, I hope you don't feel bad about it, but please come back and let's do it with your list. So I did. I went back upstairs, did it, and I got the job, and I worked on it. And then when he passed away, that story means a lot to me, that he flagged me down literally on the street to my car, that he believed in me that much.
What did he say to you after you did it with the list? Did he come up to you say, that's what I'm talking about? Did he kind of look at you and say, that's what it is, what I'm looking for?
I'm sure he gave me a look, but we just
he gave you like a man-to-man
They got a lot of stuff to do. You just got to get out of there because they have other people in the waiting room. Like that's what I mean. For him to literally leave the waiting room with other actors and casting directors, he ran up the block. He asked somebody else, "Hey, did you see a fat kid or whatever?" I don't know. And he found me at my car. He's like, "Mike, I love you. I love you. Please come back and do it this way." You would think that would have been the casting director or somebody, but he did it personally. That's why it meant a lot to me.
Yeah, I had a question on that movie. Was Stuttering John in that movie?
Yeah, I think he was, dude. Wasn't he?
I think so. Did you end up meeting?
Yeah. Was he in the cage? Oh no, that was the other crazy guy that asked me to join him in a threesome at the rap party. Oh, what was that?
Who was
blonde
that?
Guy's name that was in a cage?
Andy Dick.
Andy, that boy was scary, man. That scared the hell out of me, Andy.
He was on our show too.
I love Andy.
Yeah,
I mean he's a cool guy, but boy, he's definitely he says things that you would not believe, and you're like,
was the threesome with a girl or like three guys? Because Andy Dick.
No, he had a at the rap party or whatever. He had a beautiful woman with him, and he introduced himself because we didn't work on set. We were there on set together, but I didn't meet him that day, and I kind of knew who he was from Biodome and stuff like that, or movies. And then I was just like, "Oh, she's a beautiful woman." He's like, "Hey, you want to sleep with her?" I was like, well, wouldn't anybody? And he's like, oh, we're gonna go back to the hotel. We're gonna have a few drinks. We're gonna have a good night. You want to come back? You want to, hang out with us? we can all get together and have a good time. And then I'm like, wow, he's inviting me to a threesome or something. I don't know.
It only costs you $1 to mow her lawn.
Yeah, we had him on, and he went wild, man. He got like really, really drunk, and
You got to see it the last.
Yeah, it was really wild. He passed out by the end, but
I'll watch it. I promise you, I'll watch it.
Yeah, he was talking to his lover and shit. It was great.
Yeah, I really like that movie, and that scene where you guys kind of bring him into the barn or whatever. That's on YouTube, so I had seen it recently, and I was like, damn, dude, it's nostalgia looking back on some of that stuff. I'm sure you, being in the movie business, do it all the time, but yeah.
I just remember events, and that night was the rap party for Dude, Where's My Car? Sean William Scott had an audition the next morning for Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
And that was up for the role of Spider-Man before Toby got it.
And that was like Spider-Man was one of the first comic book movies. It wasn't popular before that.
Was the first.
I mean, Batman, but that was like the first Marvel thing. I think that.
Yeah, it's the first Marvel. Well, no, it was. That's like early 2000s. Yeah, that was like the first one. Yeah.
Could you imagine Stifler as Spider-Man? No, you can't. But still, he had the audition, and he was up for the part.
He was so good in American Pie and Goon. He's been in so many good movies too. You're buddies with him, right?
I mean, the term buddy is a little bit, technical, but I mean, I think I consider myself friends with a lot of people. It doesn't mean we talk to each other every week, every day, but if I do see them, if we're out and about, if I do even have an email or number, we're all cool. There's no problems. Like, we love each other, and we honestly care for each other. And I've caught some actors, either famous or otherwise. I needed support recently. They donated and they hit the like button every once in a while. And, I get a couple messages here and there from some people, saying, stick it through, don't give up, So friends or buddies is whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want people to say, oh, you're not friends with him anymore. Like, that's not the case. We're all there for each other. We just might not see each other, or he's not my best friend that comes to my house every day. It's not like that.
No, I hear you. I know what you mean. Yeah, I meant it more like that. Like, you guys.
Yeah, I consider myself buddies.
If you saw him at a coffee shop, you'd be like, "Oh, what up? I have a long time no see, brother." Type thing.
Oh, definitely.
So I kind of want to dive into you here a little bit, Michael. So
into me?
No pun intended, sir.
He says that.
Want to dive into me? The only thing going in me is toilet paper. Okay.
All right. I'm sorry, sir, but I kind of want to dive. So you have your great career going on in film and whatnot. You take a turn towards
you said going on. Yeah, it's at a little bit of a standstill, brother. I'm trying to find it back.
No, you'll find it. I promise you, you'll find it. You'll find it. You will find it. You're a great talent, honestly. But
it will be mine.
It will be mine.
It will be mine.
All
he
right.
does this every weekend. He tries to attempt a comeback every year. It will be mine.
It will be mine.
Yes.
Yes,
It will be mine.
I
What
love
movie is that from? ATP?
Yeah, David, what's that from, buddy?
You will be mine?
It will be mine.
Okay, I'll do the whole scene for you.
I don't know.
It will be mine.
Do the whole
Oh,
thing.
yes. It will be mine. He does this every week.
That I don't know. No, sorry. You guys know. I don't.
Wayne's World. All the time. Donkey lips.
This is a Canadian guy, too. So,
God damn it, you fucked up, dude.
Stan Mikita's Donuts.
Why is it when a man wants to murder his wife? Don't you remember that scene from Stan Mikita's Donuts? From Al Bundy, where he says, why can't a man kill his wife in passion?
He's getting you, buddy. He's getting you.
It's a great movie, man. It's a great movie.
Yeah. Well, Stan Mikita's Donuts is making fun of fucking in Canada we got Tim Hortons, which is like it was named after an old hockey player. But the funny why it's so funny is Stan Mikita was like the ugliest guy of all time with missing teeth and right. So when they go to the Stan Mikita's Donuts, they're like he's got his teeth missing and he's got a picture of his face at the drive-thru. That's what makes it so funny because if there's one person who shouldn't have his face on the drive-thru, it's Stan Mikita.
Stan Mikita.
Yeah.
Is he named after the tools, Makita tools?
I don't think it had anything to do with that. But yeah.
Interesting.
It's a goof on like the biggest coffee donut place in Canada is named after a hockey player. You know?
Right.
Watch Wayne's World again, and you'll have a good time. And you'll see Al Bundy pretending he's Stan Makita, and he talks about like, why can't you kill a woman in passion while you're making love? It's just funny. It's one of the funniest jokes.
And Mir says Dana Carvey's funnier than. Sorry,
no, David.
The Norm Macdonald. He said it. You said it, man.
No.
Norm Macdonald is more political humor. Dana Carvey would have been
it's David
like
Spade.
stoner type,
David
different
Spade,
type of humor.
David Spade.
Oh, David Spade.
They're both great. You know, both SNL guys.
Same thing.
Harvey and then the David Spade love that Lil Mir has. I don't know where that comes from, but
no, I love Spade.
He was on a show and he basically said David Spade was funnier than Norm Macdonald, and then he is.
Norm Macdonald's an idiot. But let's dive back into Michael here though, because I want to ask you a strict question here though, sir. So you have your career going on in the film industry and whatnot. What kind of drew you towards YouTube to create a show or your own YouTube channel? What kind of drew that into that? Honestly, what wanted you to create that?
Good question. If you think about it deeply, I can give the cookie cutter answer of, I like to entertain and I like to do this and I like to do that. And at the end of the day, man, it's an inherent need in me to somehow be public still. It's an inherent feeling that I still like to be in public, whether it be entertaining or whatever.
Right.
And then on top of that, I didn't have a lot going on in my life. And, I was dealing with family, health, and whatever I started to deal with. And I needed an outlet to create or to do anything. And that's what happened. Then I found out a few years later you can make money on it. Then that changed my world.
You're like, hang on a second here.
Then it became evil. Like, because now you're doing it as a job, and then you literally need that money, and then you lose all your true creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, really a weird black hole. It's a really weird black hole.
That makes total sense. And that the whole YouTube thing, you probably were consuming a lot of content on YouTube, and then you were like, hey, I'm going to try it. You were watching other people do things, and you're like, hey.
Yeah, they inspire you. They inspire you.
Inspire you.
Yeah, we know a guy who watches videos on YouTube about how to wipe your ass.
Yeah. There's everything out there these days, bro.
I don't like what it's become, though. It's just the same thing with television and movies. This world is unrecognizable to me. I'm still kind of young, but I'm 48. This world is unrecognizable to me. And I think maybe not Mir, but you guys, I don't know how old you are, but we lived, not Mir, the other people, but we lived in the best generation, like the 80s and 90s, where creativity, not everything was monetized, and you can get away with things early on in YouTube, and it's just, I don't like it. I don't like the way everything is going.
Look,
it's all about money and business and censorship, and
we're only a 2-year difference, and we're kind of like the last generation. We didn't have cell phones. We were teenagers and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and the internet just came in at the end of high school for me, and I don't know. I agree with you. I think it was better. Like, you weren't always looking at a phone. You would have actually conversations. Like it wasn't all about like just totally 100% technology all the time. I
there's
think
more mystery, to like life. You can go. You think like maybe I'm gonna go out to eat and meet a woman or something.
Right.
Just that's the hostess at the bar. Nowadays, it's like everything's like got to be known and
Tinder.
And everyone's looking down at their
Tinder.
phone.
It's like you would go out to a club or a bar and go, hey, maybe I'm gonna meet a girl. If it was a blind date, it was a real blind date. Yeah, no.
Right. Shit.
Yeah. Now it's like, you're swiping left. And like, I'm still like, I'm seeing a girl now, but when I was still single, you're on Tinder and you're also like, this is also sick at the same time that you're just like, you're looking at someone, you're like, swipe left, it's like, it's Yeah, exactly. It's weird, you know. It's
desensitizing. Everything is desensitizing.
does.
totally,
It's like we're not real, and then we fall in love with the likes, the comments,
Yep.
you know, the people telling you you're awesome, and then one little, like 20 people will say you're awesome and I love you and keep going, and then one idiot trolls you and hurts you. Maybe they're right or they're correct, or they pointed out a fact that you don't actually want to think about, but you're like, it messes up your whole day. Then you get angry. Then you want to fight that one person, but yet there's 19 other people that said they love you and they respect you, but yet I paid attention to that damn idiot.
Right.
And maybe they are correct, but the truth hurts.
I think it also damages women to some aspect too, doesn't it? You know, just being used like that all the time as, you know, as a cum dump and whatnot. I mean,
you're getting into some serious conversations.
Right.
But those are serious thoughts that we all have, and the way we talk about women grow up wanting to be OnlyFans models now. So think about that.
You're right about that.
Becoming a porn star is popular, and it's now a career aspect for women. So they're definitely gonna, you know, try to look pretty and make money. And it's weird how that's a career now. You know, what happened to nurses, this, that, whatever,
Right.
you know.
And my thing is the men who support that. I'm like, dude, porn's free. Just go watch some porn. I don't get.
And talk about these like Mir with the dating apps. Like my dad was at like a friend's house, and friend was telling him like his daughter's like, you know, like young girl is single or whatever in her early 20s, and it's basically like these dudes are just on these dating apps, and they just kind of want to like hook up with a chick like the first night, and if you won't do it, they'll just go right back to the dating app and find the chick that will.
Find some other whore.
Yeah. So it's like, what the hell is that? Like, you know, it's just, you're not even, that's what happens. I got a buddy in Argentina, like, you know, Argentina's got beautiful women, like, and that's all he does. And I'm like, dude, I even told him, like, not that I have exactly the highest moral standard, but like, he's literally having sex with like 5 girls a week. And I'm like, dude, that's disgusting after a while. Yeah, I'm like, nah, like, come on, man. You know, like, you know, it's just like whatever. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like, yeah, I still like, you know, I just think of like the way we grew up as kids, and, you know, you would buy a tape or a record and listen to the whole album, you know, not just see the ones.
How young are you? How young are you, ATP?
I'm 46, so I'm 2 years.
Okay, you're in my age range. What about you?
I'm like
Mr. G. Mr. G.
Yeah, I'm about 10 years younger than you guys, so yeah, mid 30s.
28, 27, something like that.
Mid 30s.
38,
Mid 30s.
30s.
Yeah.
Oh, 38. Yeah, sorry.
He's younger
I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest.
Mir doesn't think like the rest of his generation.
I'm 25, 26, man.
So we kind of got three generations.
Is that a Swedish flag behind you, or what is it?
It's a British flag.
How dare you, sir?
Sorry, I couldn't see it. It looked all white and red.
How dare you misgender me like that, okay? You know what? Canceled right now. That's it, everybody get them.
Well, the other one is a Welsh flag.
It's
like Wales.
No, it's not. What the fuck?
Oh, that's a Bhutan flag, right?
It's the Bhutan, yeah, man.
That's a Bhutan.
Are you political? Are you political into all that stuff? Yeah.
Am I political? No, not at all. I don't give a shit about anything.
He's not
Look at me.
from Bhutan or English.
I'm drinking White Claws on a Wednesday night, man. I don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah. The first time I was on the show, all you're doing is asking me about Israel. Like, come on. You know.
He spit everywhere.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah, I don't think people, unfortunately, not to get political, but I don't think every actor, whether they have millions of followers or subscribers, needs to comment on every single thing or tragedy or whatever's going on in the real world. That's the little bit of narcissism in those people, is that, you know, they get told you can affect change if you take one side or the other. You can affect change. Yeah, you know what? This world is so damn divided. No matter what you say, if even you show a picture of a taco and you call it a pink taco from Pink Tacos, people are going to be divided against you. You're going to say, how dare you do that? How dare you disrespect this or that?
Yeah.
And that's a scary world to live in. So that's one reason why I'm very happy that I'm not as successful or as popular as that, because I can't live with that type of divide and that type of stuff, man. It's too much for one human being to honestly take on. It really is.
Michael, I want to dive back in. Mir is a coward. Thank you so much, Johnny. I want to dive back.
I know they're probably telling you guys. They're probably telling you guys to ask me some ridiculous questions or this or that.
Oh no, they're not. I want to dive back into your YouTube though. So you start doing your YouTube show. I haven't watched much. I've seen clips here and there, but I haven't really watched the show itself. What is your take on how you want your show to be and how you want to put it forward?
I don't really have a show. I don't know what you, because I have my acting channel where I don't know what I post on there. It's a variety of everything. Then I made a Raider channel because I'm a fan of the Raiders. And then I had an official weekly show many years back on that channel. So I don't know what you're talking about per se or what channel.
Okay.
Get your facts right. Do some fucking research, Lil Mir.
Yeah, exactly, Mir. No,
I'm just kidding. Hey, you hooked me up. I cannot yell at you like
that.
He's fine. Bauer, he's fine.
You sound like my wife right now, just berating me.
Well, honestly, at the end of the day, do you love her, and are you happy to have her by your side?
I am definitely in love. Thank you.
Then you are doing a lot better than a lot of people. So kudos to you, brother.
Thank you, man. So yeah, Chow, you were saying something to Michael, right?
Well, I mean, like I'm not following you on YouTube, but I had seen some of your stuff that you were doing. I will, but you're doing some. Were you officially with the Raiders for a little bit?
No, I think I faked it till I made it, where I pretended. I think I probably, maybe in a video, I said, I'm officially a Raider. That doesn't mean I'm officially a Raider.
Are you doing anything with that still? Or are you taking a break?
Well, yeah, that's a real long story. And I talk too much. I'll try to paraphrase it. But no, I had a lot of time on my hands, and I love football, and I love the Raiders. So I created like a sketch comedy show in the early 2012s. And then I was doing weekly shows and little sketch comedies and stuff like that. But I was also uploading like highlights and stuff from the official NFL and the Raiders. I was uploading basically illegal content, at the end of the day. And then a while later, new Raider YouTubers came into the scheme. And then I ended up with like 60,000 subscribers on the channel. Then it's like 2016. Then I found out I could make money. And then I just kept doing it, and I started making a decent amount a month, like a couple grand a month. And I'm like, wow, this is insane. But then there's all these new YouTubers that are making videos for the Raiders. And then they took me down. They came after me because what's the best way to get popular? You take down the biggest bully on the scene, and then now everybody will come to their channel, and then they'll be the new person. I had some issues, and then the Raiders sued me. So these YouTubers that created channels, they flagged my videos, they wrote the NFL or whatever they did, and then my channel got stopped. The NFL came after me. I tried to fight it. They sued me for it was basically $500,000, and then I was told in a lawsuit that I could no longer have my channel again. I can no longer wear the colors of silver and black. I cannot use any trademark phrases. I cannot have any logos or designs in any future videos. And I cannot wear the hat or anything related to the Raiders in any sort, or I will be sued officially again. So I lost my channel with 60,000 subs. And then like a year or two later, I got back.
Raiders fan?
Exactly. And now they call me a Saints fan because I miss Derek. Because I miss Derek Carr. I like him as a human being.
To go back to your channel, that's how I actually knew, first found out about you. Even with all your acting credits, because I'm a huge Raiders fan, and I remember the highlights, and I remember you do draft videos and all that kind of stuff. And you, like I said, now there's totally all these. There's all these content creators out there for the Raiders. And I remember you being out there. And then I kind of wondered what happened to it, because I know you still talk about the team from time to time, but it's like,
I have a channel now.
All that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody's interested, I have a channel still called Raider Central Live. That was my original channel name, Raider Central. But now I call it Raider Central Live, where I basically do live streams. But now it's just talk. Because
Why'd you change it
and
to talk?
Because
Well-
you can't do any of that stuff anymore. Because he was just saying.
well, yeah, I could, and I don't have the health and the time and all the stuff going on to do the skits. I don't even have a location anymore with a lot of room to do all that stuff. And then my computers are old. I don't have a lot of patience. I'm not very good at editing.
Right.
But
I'm so
so
sorry.
that-
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It had to manifest into like a podcast and to talking. It just had to become that.
Real
And
quick.
then I
go ahead.
still wear Raider jerseys and hats, and I'm just so thankful that technically they haven't come back after me.
So real quick,
They
Michael,
can legally.
what's your take on right now going on with the Raiders, though, man? You see
I love it.
O'Connell
I love it.
fucking
I've been
cooking,
trying-
bro. Antonio Pierce. Purse.
Well, we're gonna lose the next two games, but
No, you're not.
No, I
Yeah,
think
we
we're
are.
gonna
The
beat
Dolphins.
I actually
Guarantee
think
you
we
beat the
Chiefs.
Dolphins. The Dolphins suck against a good defense, man. No fucking way.
no. I mean, it
The
might be a
Dolphins,
closer
their defense
game.
will eat them.
They're gonna pull it out. But still, I love that the Raider way is back. Like I can't explain it. It's a culture. It's a thing. The Latin culture. The black culture. The white culture. The Raider Nation is just different.
It's every.
Yes,
yeah.
there's division. There's 50%. I've even gotten beaten up for talking shit about my own team. Literally in a bar, they beat me up because I'm like, oh, you fucking suck. Bench him or fire him. Shut up, Holmes. That's the Raiders. Yes, hey. What is going on? Relax.
No, dude, I used to go to games in Oakland. The tailgate was like I've never seen anything like that in the NFL. It was
Yeah,
insane.
I've only
Go
been
to
to
a
one
Rams
tailgate
game.
against the Bears in Oakland, but I did the LA games. That's how I became a Raider fan. My grandfather picked me up one day, and he just said, "Come with me. We're going." He knew I loved watching football. Not that I was a 49er fan, but I grew up remembering the Super Bowls of like the 49ers and Bengals, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice,
yeah.
and Ickey Woods, the Ickey Shuffle, and Howie Long, and all of that was like my life. But I didn't pick a team. I really didn't have a team, even though I knew that Raiders were in LA. I guess I was like, oh, I'm a Raider fan. But my grandfather took me to a game. They played the Broncos. They needed to beat the Broncos to play in the wild card versus the Broncos.
That's a great
And-
game, man. I know the game you're talking about.
Yeah, they had to win to play them in the wild card. It was like 1990
93.
or 91, somewhere around that time.
93. I know the
93.
game you're talking about.
Yeah, and then I had the time of my life, man. And I always say the joke, but he bought me a foam finger, those fingers, and he bought me a hot dog. And I went home, and literally about less than 48 hours, my grandfather passed away.
So real quick.
Oh, wow, really?
Before you dive into that grandfather thing.
No, I'm done. I'm just saying that's how I
No.
became a Raider fan.
I know.
That's,
But
that's the last experience he had with his grandfather
I
watching
know.
the Raiders. beat
How
the
close
Bulls.
were you with your grandfather up to that point? Was it pretty close? Like
Not that close. That's why
Really?
it was such an event for him just to show up and pick me up.
just take you.
Because
Holy shit!
my brother was going to Laker games, and people were taking him out, and I was the kid that stayed at home and watched Saturday Night Live, watched TV, played video games, and I never really got out. And I was getting jealous because my brother was going to these events with his friends.
Right.
And then my grandfather got wind of it, and he just, like I said, just decided to pick me up one Sunday and take me to the Raider game and buy me tickets and everything. And that's why it was one of those events in my life that shaped me.
In hindsight, when you look at that, just like the circumstances of it, he died right after that, and he just
Yeah, he passed
randomly
away
did
in
it.
his sleep.
Right, and he randomly just did it, just to be there with you, and even though you guys weren't close, that is something that I would say is not circumstantial, but I don't know. That's something very out there. Maybe I don't know what to say about that, man. That's just
Otherworldly.
otherworldly. It's something. I think that's like fate right there or something. And it shaped you, like you said. So my thing is,
In the future, I end up doing a Raider show and earned a little bit of
that's
the
some-
living
that's
while I
some-
wasn't
that's
acting.
some weird shit, man. Do you ever
Life
think
is
about that at
beautiful.
all?
Life is hard. Life is beautiful.
Do you ever think about that at all, or no?
I mean, now I do. I think about too much, brother. You don't want to be alone in my head. You do not want to be alone in my head.
Well, I do want to dive real quick into the conspiracy theories about what we want to. I want to really dive into that.
Yeah,
real
I mean,
quick
I got
before-
time as long as my phone, the battery doesn't go dead. If I need to, I will get back on my computer and try it again. But you have all the time in the world.
I
I'm
love it. I love
I'm
to talk to
enjoying
you.
myself, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys. So I'm here for you. Thank you very
No,
much.
Michael, I love having you
Pleasure.
on the show. Honestly,
A lot
you're
of fun.
you're an amazing individual. So I really do want to dive into some things. We're gonna take a quick intermission to do some super chats. I'm not gonna read any of the derogatory ones. I just want to read the ones that are more enlightening and whatnot. So if you wasted your money on some shitty comment, then sucks to suck. Let's see what we can find here.
Do that one. There's one about how he didn't go on MLC because I know the reason why. I can talk about this one, Michael. You don't have to. It's a $10 one. That's the biggest one too.
I don't know what's going on, but I mean, I've heard of those podcasts, but
No, dude, I'll just talk about it right now. There's a guy did a $10 super chat.
He's talking about NLO, not MLC. But you can.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about MLC. Anyhow, I'll just go quickly into it. So I was in your chat.
Major League Cricket. You're talking about Major League Cricket.
Major League Cricket. Yes.
Yeah, Major League Cricket. You didn't go on Major League Cricket because I was in your chat one day on your Raiders show, and I was like, the guy who hosts Major League Cricket. I sent him a couple of your videos, and I was like, you should have this guy on the show. He's like a child actor. He's really funny. Blah blah blah. And then I asked you, and you said they were associated with someone who we won't mention. He's a piece of crap in Las Vegas. And you wouldn't go on the show because they were associated with this individual because this guy's always crapping on you. So that's all I'm going to say. That's what you told me.
I don't mind telling my truth to anybody or anything.
I don't want to offend you in any way.
I just don't like to prop up people that are creating a negative energy in my life for whatever reason, whether they think I deserve it or they're entitled to do it. I need to stay away from that stuff.
Who are they to say they're entitled to do it though?
No, because I'm an actor. I always get people say, "Oh, you're."
What makes them entitled though?
Right?
What makes them entitled though? Because everyone has dark shit. So what makes them entitled to say something else about somebody else? They don't deserve. We can.
I know, but they say if I say it in public or in a video, then if they want to, like a conspiracy.
They're pieces of shit.
Theorist,
they're depressed. They're the pieces of shit.
But I consider myself I consider myself like a detective in the conspiracy world. Like I try to pretend and look for clues and whatever and find out their lies or whatever might be deceit. And that's what they do. They critique commentaries and they try to expose me for lies. And it's a negative world. But they think they deserve to do it because I'm a public figure and they like to do it. But at the end of the day, they like me. I understand that.
Yeah.
They actually like me, and they got mad at me, or they got turned off, or whatever the reason is. But they like me enough to make fun of me.
All right. So let's continue on from this garb. I don't even want to talk about that motherfucker.
Well, yeah, I'll just end it. The reason why I get offers, and I don't mind talking about it. I just don't like to prop up negative things in my life. At this point, I can't deal with it. I got anxiety. I have fears. I got some serious shit that I don't deal with very well. And that is one of the things. So that's why even if they're willing to give me a guest fee or they're willing to support me in any way, help me out, that I don't do it because people don't know what happens to me after I get off a podcast.
Right.
And I think about everything I said. Did I reveal too much? What did I say? What are they going to use against me? How did I make myself look stupider than I am? That's what I always think about. And it's just not a good place. But I know these people are creative. I know they're talented and they are comedians. I just don't think that type of commentary or that type of category or niche to do that stuff, I don't think it's one that I want to be a part of. I'd rather create, if they're a comedian and all that, I want the old school comedy. Because making fun of somebody or calling them out as a liar or exposing them as a fraud or whatever, that's not comedy to me. Dude, that's just like that's hit piece. Hey,
Michael, I've said the same thing, because we're about the same age. I grew up with Sam Kinison and Ronnie Dangerfield, and this crap now passes.
I got a low battery.
So.
Go on. I'm just gonna turn on my
Yeah.
I'm listening. I promise. I'm just gonna get my
I'm just
computer
saying
started.
Yeah, run the super chats.
Yeah, let's run the super chats. Let's get out of this shit
Oh,
real
he's getting
quick.
that set up.
Yeah.
No, but let him finish.
Yeah,
And he explained himself.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did good enough. Yeah, he did a good job. So we got requesting a new cooking video from Michael.
Yeah, his cooking videos are good, man.
Oh yeah, everybody wants those videos again. But again,
we're good.
They're kind of from a dark place as well. Like I'm always shirtless, and I'm trying to like.
How is cooking from a dark place?
I just meant that like I don't know. It's one of those weird things that I love to cook, but I don't have a kitchen really, and so it makes me depressed when I only have a hot plate or I have an air fryer, and it just makes me think of my life that I'm nowhere near where I truly wanted to be,
Right.
Hey, Michael, you should meet this guy named Barry Ribs. You're doing great. Trust me.
It's all relative, man. It's all, and you can just retool it and do it. Your next project will be.
Little, let me ask you for $5. Michael, have you thought about independent film acting?
I get offers a lot from like horror movie people, for their movies and stuff like that. And again, I'm a member of the union. Sorry guys, I wish you guys could see me. I'm trying to log on to my computer, see if that'll work. But if it's not SAG or official, I can't really do it. I don't ever want to be kicked out of SAG again in my life. And when I do get offers, sometimes they always give me a part. They want me to play, like you're a camper or you're fat guy number 3. And I'm like, it's a small independent movie. And I know you only got a budget of like, $10,000 or $20,000 or whatever the case may be. But can you at least give me a role that I can be in and do?
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're so ingrained into the system. Oh, there we go.
Dr. Chow, tell him if I'm in the other
one
room.
on. So I'm going to get rid of this one for a sec.
Yeah.
Remove this one, and I'm going to add your other one to see how it sounds. So go back to your computer, and we'll test it out again.
I'm taking my phone real quick just in case. Oh, I got a double feedback. I got to turn it off.
Yeah, we're good on. I took your other one off on here, so.
No, you look good.
Hey, there you go. All right.
Can you hear me?
We can. Yeah. So
your green screen and everything.
Yeah, sounds good,
man.
I
don't got a headset on. Shoot. Okay, now.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it kind of glitched for a second there, but yeah, I can hear you good. Good.
Can you hear me? Am I there?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Okay,
hello.
Put my phone on charge. I can very well, but let me put my phone on charge in case I need to go back to my phone.
All right, good idea. Yeah, so Mir, I put him. He's on his computer now. He's charging his phone. But it seems like it might be a little better. So
hang on. I love this real quick. This show super chat system blows. I'm done with this bullshit, Mir. Suck my dick, bro. Go to MLC where they read all your fucking garbage super chats. You fucking Beat it, you fucking pussy, you fucking dick. I don't want fucking losers who want to say some stupid shit I'm going to promote it on this goddamn show. If you have actually something witty to say, then we'll showcase if it makes sense. If not, then suck my cock and just wait in the wings, all right, you fucking loser? You're not that witty, buddy. You're not that witty.
Yeah, when you were putting up those comments, I was like, yeah, man.
Half of them are fucking garbage. You fucking morons who are fucking doing this shit. You
open up
suck.
your fridge. Just shut the hell up, whoever that loser was. Get out of here.
No.
That's all right, buddy. We'll catch you next time, all right? See you later. Make sure to pay us another extra $2.
They're asking me to open up my fridge. Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, some guy was asking.
Yeah, it's no fucking broke motherfuckers asking you to open up their fridge. Fucking loser.
Yeah.
Make it funnier, you dipshit. You might do it.
Why is it important?
Because
they're just to see what I eat.
They're just spamming
because they just want to make fun of it and he eats unhealthy. He says he's eating healthy, but he still has unhealthy stuff there.
Hey, Michael, do you got a passport?
Ain't a big deal.
I'm asking for this. You got a passport?
I'm sure I do, but you know what? It might not be. It's been updated.
You got to come to because I live in the Bahamas. I don't know if they told you this. So, so.
Yeah, we're ATP throws like some crazy
Super Bowl
Super Bowl
party.
We know the Raiders
I
ain't
wanted
competing in
a
it.
delay.
Oh, you're delayed a
I see a
little?
major delay, but I hope you guys.
You gotta get back on the phone, bro. This ain't gonna. You gotta
Yeah,
get
the
back on
phone
the
is
phone.
way
Hear me?
better. Yeah.
The phone was
And
way
see
better,
me.
Michael. The computer's
Yeah, that's
fucked. Just charge your phone and
Really?
hop
The
back
phone
on the
was
phone,
better?
sir. We'll wait for you. Yes, way better.
Way better. Yeah. Yeah, you got a big delay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're delaying.
Yeah. Well, it was at like 13%, so it's gonna take a few minutes, guys.
Oh yeah, no problem. We'll wait. So let me ask a prolonged question for conspiracy
me?
theories before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. So, Michael, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, I'm gonna ask you a prolonged question. Please don't interrupt. So you tell me the Earth might not be flat, but there's some aspects of like humanity or our uppers not telling us what we actually believe in. And then I've seen things like our history of humanity going back even thousands of years before even what we thought it would be. What's your take on just humanity in itself? Do you think what they're telling us is real, or do you think it's somewhat like, like go Tebi Becky or whatever the fuck it's called? You know what I'm saying? Do you think it's somewhat like
I'm
not-
looking into the Anunnaki right now. I'm studying Anunnaki and the old world. It's called the Old World Order.
old? Okay.
But I don't know. I took off my blur. I had something called the blur that might have been meshing with my PC.
Yeah,
hope
you're
it
perfect
looks
now.
Better now.
Oh my God, you're
Yeah, so-
100 times. Yeah, we could have done this the whole time, Michael. What are you doing, bro?
No, but my computer, it had something that said turn on the blur from my background because I don't really have a background set up right now and whatever. But let's hope it works. Sorry, I forgot the question, man, but
Talking about
I'm all out of it.
Go Becky
I'm
Tacky.
drinking some chai, some cold frozen chai latte.
yeah. So okay, let me ask a better question. Let's
Yes.
set where
That's
you're
a
at.
better
Where you're
question.
so you mentioned on the Anuna or the Anunnaki. So how deep do you go with your conspiracies, and what realms do you focus on in the conspiracy? Because anyone who's like a true conspiracy, they know there's like geopolitical conspiracies, there's medicine ones, there's history ones, there's all different types by kind of subgenres. What do you focus in on?
Again, it's a crapshoot. But at the end of the day, the truth is, like, first off, let's go to the word conspiracy or conspiracy theory. Many people don't know where that derived from, and it is from George Bush, and the CIA created that term.
Really?
Why would they create that term unless to use it for nefarious reasons? Because
Right.
the CIA is definitely corrupt. George Bush is corrupt, and
His
he
father
created-
helped fund the Nazis, right? Prescott Bush back in the 40s.
correct. And they also created NASA, where we technically, and I say we get all our lies from, is from George Bush and his creations, the CIA and all that. But the word conspiracy, the meaning is when two people or more get together to conspire to do anything. So if that's the definition of the word, which I think I'm paraphrasing, but I think it's correct, everything is a conspiracy. Whenever two people talk and they talk about doing anything, good or bad, it's a conspiracy. So it's not just the theory. But then the word theory was added because we technically can't explain it and we don't know how it works. And that's the same thing for gravity. Gravity is a what? Theory. It has not
it is
been
a theory,
proven.
yes.
But yet we have scientists and all this. Again, my world is just being blown up. Like when I became awake, my third
Who
eye
woke you
opened
up?
up. Maybe nothing in particular, but
Joe
my
Rogan?
whole life. No, it was like 2008. And my whole life, like I said, I've had brothers with addiction issues, and
Yeah.
I've had girlfriends that I gave my heart, my money, whatever I had to them, and I was lied to, cheated on. Then I had my mother who left my family. Basically, I felt like I grew up in lies, and I always wanted to find out if they were lying. I always wanted to seek the truth behind whatever they were telling me or doing, because I had to become a detective. Like, oh, your girlfriend's cheating. I found proof here. I found this there. Or my father lied, or my mother lied, or my brother lied. And I started getting that type of a mindset with my anger. And then in 2008, something happened that was just really, I guess my eye was starting to open up. You know, we had 2000 or 9/11, 2001.
Right.
And just, I knew the media, you know, just I was questioning things in that time. Long story short, Osama bin Laden was captured and killed or whatever. Then they made a news stream, and then they showed, we're live here at the White House. President Obama is going to make a message to the nation in an hour or so. Everybody needs to tune in, and you know, we're here live at the White House lawn. President Obama is going to make an announcement or something in an hour. Then they stayed with that coverage. I think it was either CNN or Fox or whatever channel I was watching. Then they interviewed kids walking onto the lawn holding American flags, and you could see in the broadcast they were handing kids American flags and something else. Then they interviewed one of the kids. They go, "What are you doing here?" "Oh, we're at college or something." And they told us all they'll give us $20 to come here, and they'll hand us American flags. Obama's going to make a speech. So then they were paid to be there, and I'm watching this interview, and I'm like, okay. Then all of a sudden, Obama comes on, and now there's like hundreds of kids, and then they have a screen or whatever. Then Obama comes on from the alley or in the White House, like in an alley or whatever room, and we killed Osama bin Laden. And it looked like a green screen to me. Like I saw areas around his head when he was talking. He might have been somewhere else, and that made me go, huh? Then a couple days later, they said that they took the body and they put it in the ocean out of respect for the culture because they bury their dead or something like that. And I was like, we're America. What are you talking about? We're America. Fuck yeah. We would have brought the body. If he's the #1 terrorist, we would have brought the body back here, placed it on a damn cross, and had everybody saying, yeah, we got him. We got Osama bin Laden, the guy that perpetrated, 9/11. And
right.
And but no, out of respect. He was on a boat and we dropped him in the middle of the ocean. What? It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. So I started digging into videos and stuff, and then I just.
Well, I heard from a Pakistani conspiracy that Osama bin Laden's been dead since early 2000s.
Yeah, he had kidney issues and all that.
And then the female, I forgot, political leader, not leader, but political opponent that was contradicting the Pakistani regime was stating that actually Osama bin Laden was dead, and then she was car bombed. I think it was like 3 days later, and she was killed in her car and shit after discussing that Osama bin Laden was actually already dead.
Go look at the list of the people the Clintons have had problems with. It's like it's like ridiculous. It's like I don't say nothing bad about the Clintons because it's like
it's been lies since fucking the Civil War and the Revolutionary War, bro. What do you think? Come on, it's been lies since the dawn of time. Come on now, Tiny Chuck.
You ever get into like the Roman maritime law and the debt 72-year debt thing?
Yeah, I don't know about that at all. Sorry, I haven't heard about that one.
Yeah, so like there's this idea that it goes back every 72 years. There's a war, and it's been going, and the international debt based on Roman maritime law gets renegotiated. So like basically, and you can kind of track like the revolutionary. It goes back further than America, but it goes back thousands of years. But you can track from the Revolutionary War to the Civil War to the World War I to the next epoch.
Yeah. I think I've heard
and
about
and
that.
every time this pile of debt, maybe it's like I don't know if you get into like the 12 or the 13 families, and then like the Council of 300 and all the different levels.
Much.
Yeah, so it gets renegotiated, and someone else takes the debt. So it like moved from France to the U.S. And then it's there's a lot of stuff going back thousands of years with the geopolitical stuff. That you can go so deep in that stuff. I was just curious how deep you went. So.
Oh yeah. Again, I always get off topic, but back to the question about what conspiracies do I study? Like I said, it's a crapshoot. Like one thing leads to another. It's the rabbit hole effect on YouTube or anywhere else. You just keep going and
What's
going.
your favorite conspiracy? Atlantis?
There is no. You can't answer that because
Moon
What do you
landing.
mean? Which one attracts you the most? I know one attracts you really hardcore. You're like, damn it, I do like that one a lot. That kind of gets you.
I guess because I'm an actor, it's the possibility of false
The Pizza
flags
Hut, the
and
pizza
crisis,
one.
and crisis
False
actors.
flags.
No, like crisis actors and false flags because I can see events being faked, and I understand how Hollywood works and makes events look real. So people say, "Oh, that event was real. I saw it. I was there." Or that event is real because I had a cousin who had a sister who had a friend. You know, like that stuff, that world. Yes, an event can be real and fake at the same time. Do you not understand? It's Hollywood. If I'm in a nightclub, a gay nightclub in Orlando, you know, I'm partying it up, then somebody walks in with a gun, maybe it has fake bullets or whatever it is, and starts shooting up the place. Then there's 10 people in there, whether it be with CIA agenda, if that's what they're doing, and they have, you know, the things that can create like a squib. And then I'm there dancing, and then some guy goes like this, and I see people. Guess what? I thought it was real. But it was a movie being perpetrated for that effect. And again, when sometimes in these false flags in these events, private ambulance companies come, private security forces come, then the real cops and all the other people, the CIA, the FBI come and they cordon everything off, and the real cops are on the outside, and then everything else is like internal and privatized. So you're like, is it real? Like, oh, well, cops went. It was real. No,
Michael, the craziest thing I ever saw when it came to like mass shootings was, what was that gentleman that went to the hotel and shot everybody at that concert? He had no recollection of like any disturbances or whatnot. He had no like medical
addict. Yeah,
you know, and he seemed like a normal person. They just shot up everybody
in Vegas. Yeah,
and then he just shot everybody, and then apparently he was killed by the police and whatnot. That's
aren't
some
they all?
shit.
Aren't they all? Everyone. Oh, they shot themselves in the head. Hey, they got a car full of guns and bullets, and they got magazines with thousands of bullets. They got bulletproof vests. You know, they went out there to kill, man. They wrote a manifesto and everything. And then, you know, they go and they still got guns in the car, but they shoot everybody up. And then they don't go back to the car to get more of their weapons that were in there, but they just decide to go to a corner and kill themselves.
Right.
Huh?
Even though they packed like 90 more rounds.
I get excited. I go crazy.
I didn't understand that hotel shit, dude. I was like, why would he just like kill himself like that? Wouldn't he want to kill more people or do other things? I don't know.
Watch the footage of the cops going up the stairs to supposedly knock on the door. It's
the helicopters. There's a lot of stuff with that one. Going back, because we can get in so many tangents. Let's go to the granddaddies of them all. So
moon landing.
The moon landing, number one. Definitely fake, right?
I believe it's real to some extent.
Okay.
I don't even think the moon is.
Yeah. See
the moon is plasma. The moon is plasma or something because it's transparent.
Okay.
If you can look into it on a perfect clear night, you can literally see stars behind it.
Preach.
And if it's a moon and it's a solid object, why the hell can you see through those little dark areas and see stars?
Who told you the moon was plasma?
Nobody told it to me. It's just a theory. It's just something.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who believe the moon is a luminary.
Right. Why should I believe what the idiots who tell you what it is? I mean, I believe what my idiots tell me.
Why should you believe the mainstream media?
Exactly.
So
I'll tell you why. Okay,
why?
So after World War II, a bunch of GIs came back all over the world. All the soldiers came back, and they needed to start an economy. So one of the things that was founded after World War II, aside from certain countries and different things and renegotiations of international debts, was NASA, right?
Right.
So the idea of NASA was they're going to build little factories all over the country as works projects to get the economy going and give all these people jobs. So the idea with what happened with NASA was every single person either had an uncle, father, neighbor, whatever relative who worked in one of these little factories that built one little small piece for the space station. So they built these widgets that were supposedly going to go on the thing that was going to send us to the moon and beat Russia, right? Okay. So this created a collective mindset amongst all the people in this country after the war that like, hey, we gotta send
She's
a
a
man
pretty
to the
girl,
moon.
that Dirty Dollar. She's a pretty girl.
Oh yeah, she's
Sorry,
a
I cut
mega
you off,
dime.
but there's a pretty girl, the Dirty Dollar.
Yeah.
He likes
Continue
him, she
story.
likes me. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to disrail you, buddy. Go ahead.
But yeah, basically, so it was this is all stuff it's when you understand it from like the cybernetics and the Fabian Society and like these powerful groups that basically form the world we live in now and what we believe in, all this stuff. They had strategically structured this works program to create NASA to put a man on the moon, right? And
wasn't it bought by the Yugoslavian?
Remember that song?
Aspect,
If you
right?
believe we put a man on the moon.
Yeah.
No,
they're saying if you believe in it.
Chow, you ever heard of the Yugoslavian space program that was bought out by the U.S. to help perpetrate their NASA and whatnot after they brought on the Nazis?
I mean, I haven't, but I'm not saying NASA doesn't do anything.
Why Yugoslavia became so rich after right at the late 1940s. I mean, after they became their own country after World War II. I mean, Tito sold their space program in the early 50s. And that's not. I never heard that on the internet. You can't even find that on the internet. You can't even find that. They will not allow you to find that. Yeah. They made a lot of money off of that, and Tito was able to use it towards the people.
Yeah, one time sale, one time maybe. Okay, but even so you know the NASA thing where they took Werner von Braun, right? The head of NASA came from Germany, and he knew a lot about aeronautics and rocketry and weaponry, right? So he came over and he was kind of in charge of running the space and NASA from its foundation to up till his death, basically. So I think there is stuff that NASA was developing, and there was some scientific stuff, and you can see some development in airspace, travel, jets, all that stuff, weaponry.
Right.
But as far as and even, everyone who's, anti-man on the moon, I guess you'd say, they all point to the tombstone of Werner von Braun that talks about the firmament. He has a Bible quote on it that talks about, and this is speculative, this is kind of secondhand, but on his deathbed, he told his assistant that, there's no way a rocket, it's completely insane that a rocket could make it to the moon.
Have you guys seen the videos of the rockets that attempted to
hit the top,
pass the firmament, that hit something, and they circle, and you hear like a grinding noise, and they have GoPros on it, and it's like, what stopped it? Why couldn't it go a little bit more higher to supposedly get into that space realm or whatever it was? It's really interesting. And you were asking about my favorite theories. Again, Sandy Hook would have been one of them. But
that's weird you say that, because I saw like a clip of the father who just had their kid die. He was going to go on air, and he was like laughing with like all these people and shit. And then they came
His name is
I was
Brett
like, what the
Baer
fuck?
or something like that. Or he's about to go online, talk about his dead son, and then he's laughing. He's like, I'm Robbie Parker. My son was what?
All those news story things.
No, I do believe Sandy Hook happened though, because I was looking back. I did some digging into that guy, dude. That guy.
Yeah, it happened. Bro. Like I said, but
crazy
it might have been a Hollywood movie.
No. I think that should happen all the way through, bro.
But I can't say anything because they went after Alex Jones. They silenced him. So if you say any wrong thing,
okay, what about
that's why they did what they did to Alex Jones?
Well, that's the thing. We don't know, and you can believe whatever you believe is belief. So that's the thing.
Well, there's facts out there, but people can't get them. Literally, there was these two girls. One of them was a blonde young girl, and she got unalived. again, I'm afraid of what to say, but it's your channel, so fudge it. I don't care. But there was, and they were twins, right? And one of them, the twins, a blonde girl, forgive me, I should know the names. I should come with facts, but I didn't think we were going to talk about it. But she got unalived. Then her family went to the White House to meet President Obama. Then photos were taken of the family with Obama standing side by side to him while he's going to talk about, the killings and all that. And the picture has both the daughters next to Obama. And it came out. Then it was deleted instantly once everything came out. I still got it. Then they said they had triplets. Now everything was changed from Wikipedia and everything that they were not twin girls, that they were triplets to explain the third or the one that died. That in itself is a conspiracy in its own, right? And then when you watch the footage of the newscast, like going to the event, there's footage online. You can't find it because they censor everything. You got to go on backwoods, whatever they call it, to find it. I got it all. Where the announcer on the helicopter that's flying to the event, he goes, "Are they ready? Is everything set up?" Yeah. You hear him on audio while they're on the helicopter flying. Okay, everything's good. They're all set up. Everything's going. All right. A minute. Okay, we're 30 seconds out.
Okay,
right.
Mike. So,
is the director online? Well, I'll just end it with that. I know you guys don't want to talk.
No, we got to do some.
No.
Right.
I mean, I like the conspiracies. I like the twins thing is interesting too, because NASA uses twins all the time.
Yeah, again about
the Kelly brothers. One of them's a senator now of Arizona. The other one was, the Kellys. They're like one of them holds the record for most time up in the
Chow, the quarterback Dobbs is some aerospace NASA guy.
Yeah, and he's gonna win the Super Bowl for the Vikings. Because just
to end the comment, just to end it on Sandy Hook, in that footage, they fly over the event. Then you got ambulances, white sheets on the floor, like it's an event. Then you have like what was it called? Not the farmhouse, but like the firehouse, and then it's flying in circles. Then you see a lot of people walking around, walking into ambulances, walking out, walking into the buildings. But you got to play Where's Waldo with that whole 3-hour footage or 2.5, what it is. You got to watch people like Where's Waldo. Then you watch, they go in circles. They talk to people like directors that have microphones and they tell them.
What?
And then there's one person that has a camera, and he takes it out and he starts taking pictures of the crowd or the people walking. Then you see a director with a headset walking up. No. Then you see another guy walk into the ambulance and opens up and comes out with a sandwich. You're like, it's insane.
What?
But again,
no.
You have to treat it like a Where's Waldo. You have to watch and follow. It's the same thing with the Boston bombing with any footage. You got to watch everything that everybody does.
You believe the Boston bombing was fake? No. Come on, dude.
I'm not saying it's faked. It happened. But was it as big of a bomb as they said? And then were all the people decapitated as they were? Because there's a lot of evidence to the contrary. And you kind of understand what I'm saying? It happened. So that's the theory where people say, it happened. It happened.
I mean, Michael, when you talk to somebody, doesn't it always sound a little bit better when you kind of, push it, make it a little bit more grandiose than what it actually is? I mean, we do that in normal conversation. So why wouldn't we do that in media? Right?
But these are things that I saw. Oh, I see what you know. I thought you were talking about from me. No, but these are what I saw and when I'm watching these videos and deducting things. Again, but I can't prove it's a sandwich. It looks like a sandwich, but it ain't close up like that. And as an actor, we have trucks that have sandwich built when we're on set. So is it a food truck that's made to sit there like an ambulance for the actors that keep walking in circles and are getting directed?
Right.
It's just the Boston bombing. A lot of the people that got injured and stuff, all the pictures. There's pictures of them putting fake blood. There's pictures of people that were already decapitated, like in in the military, and
Yeah.
then they have pictures of them, holding their leg with blood on it, but yet they were decapitated 4 years earlier in the military or some other faction.
Oh
and
shit!
it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
makes you go, what doesn't happen? Again, I can give you or download you anything you're interested in and what I call clues. The problem is you can't find this stuff online, and whenever you question an
you gotta
event
go to Reddit.
that killed children,
No.
yeah,
It's
whenever you question
it all got wiped. It basically all
wiped?
got wiped in 2018, 2019.
See, I didn't know any
All
of
the
this
good
shit, dude.
shit.
I wasn't about any of this until like this year with the
Yeah.
Hamas and Israel committing cleansing. You know, they're doing their cleansing and whatnot of the Palestinians. I didn't
that's
know
why
any
they
of that.
deplatform everybody. They deplatform everybody that speaks the truth. They censor it. They got keywords. They got algorithms, and they stop it. And it's that
The
movie
Jews are creating
1984.
ethnic cleansing. That's what I'm.
Yeah, I don't know much about all that stuff, but it's just the
just to
truth
pull it
keeps coming
back,
out. People are realizing.
Just to pull it back to the moon landing, it just like shows how dumb people are. Like this guy, like there was only one moon landing. Like what other ones are you talking about? Neil Armstrong?
Well, no, they've had
landed on the
multiple.
moon.
India apparently went to the moon a month ago and landed on the moon. You watch that Indian footage?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, India just finished a mission to the moon, but not a manned mission.
I
It was
do, I
like,
do,
you know,
I,
the
I
chick
do want to
one.
interrupt though. ATP, you did have a question for Michael, correct? A little while back.
Well,
So-
okay, it's two things. So number one, I did look up. There's actually a documentary that was put out in 2016 called "Houston, We Have a Problem," and it's about that.
Yeah, that was a good one. That's a great one.
Yeah,
Where they
it's
show
the sale to the U.S. of
Hang on,
the-
Michael.
they
Hang
show
on.
that fake
Hang on.
picture of the blue marble.
Hang on, Michael. Hang on. I
Yeah,
got here
the blue
ATP real
marble.
quick.
Made by IBM.
David, go ahead.
Okay, then it's okay. So because Chow had told me one of these two things. So the two were Raider fans. So they did not want Al Davis to win another Super Bowl, right?
I should do a podcast with you as well, ATP, for my Raider channel. If
we're gonna do that,
guys are
man.
interested.
We're gonna
Yeah,
do it.
forever.
I'm good friends with Stu Schwager, used to be the safety for the Raiders.
Dude,
You guys-
Schweiger, yeah, the safety, yeah.
Yeah. I'm good friends. with
Okay, go on about the Al Davis conspiracy or
Yeah.
whatever.
So and anyhow, so in 2001, supposedly after the Tuck Rule thing, the refs, when they were calling up doing the review, they basically told them like they were like, you got to find something that's like wrong, like this can't happen because the Raiders are going to win the Super Bowl, right? So then they came up with that BS rule, which was some like no one had even heard of that, before it happened, right? And Chow told me this in the Super Bowl that we lost to the Buccaneers. Everyone thought, oh, Callahan blew the game and this, but Chow showed me these videos of supposedly,
Dexter Jackson.
Dexter Jackson. He was one of the safeties for the Bucs. I think he even got one of the INT returns for a touchdown that game.
Yeah, I think he won MVP.
He said that the Raiders play calls were being sent in to the Buccaneers like helmets, like they're.
And
yeah.
John Lynch said it on the field.
And John Lynch said
on
it.
a
So
hot
they were
mic.
so they knew every play that the Raiders were running.
I made a documentary. Man. It did really popular back in the days on my other channel. I implore you to watch it, man. I'll send you the link when I get a chance. But I made a documentary about that entire Super Bowl. And the name of it was called Who Held the Playbook?
Oh!
There you go,
'Cause
man.
it was
Yeah.
Rudy
Yeah.
Callahan, the switch at the last minute.
Yeah,
the
and I
Barrett
think that now it makes sense to me because a lot of people thought Callahan switched at the last minute because he was an idiot or he wanted
No.
Groom to win because Groom.
No, he's trying to
No,
he's
he was
backpedaling. He's like,
paranoid
what the
that
fuck?
that shit was going to happen, so he switched at the last second, and it still happened because they pumped the. So probably because someone's going to talk, they probably knew that switch was about to happen. So then they're like, well, the way the Bucs are going to win the Super Bowl is we're going to pump the Raiders' plays into their
I'll
headphones.
be right back, boys.
Well, that's the thing too. Now Jerry Rice is talking about it, and a bunch of other players, are taking Jerry Rice's back on it.
Yeah, because for years all they did was blame Callahan, but now I heard that I'm like, it didn't matter what they did. The Bucs were going to get the plays filtered into their, their headphones. So
I would love to play. I would go on.
Go Bauer. No, I
No,
was
I
going
was
to
just
ask
saying-
you like.
dude, I have
I'm
another
pulling up
conspiracy
my
right now with the
picture.
Raiders, Bauer. I got another conspiracy because right now we have like a black coach, a black president, the woman, right? and a black, temporary GM. And if they all stick, I actually think the Raiders are going to start getting calls because the NFL wants to promote that, right? They want like the minorities.
It's
like,
DEI. It's also DEI as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the NFL actually will be like, hey, give the Raiders a couple of calls because, this is what we want to promote, right? So it's like, I'll take it. I don't care. I'll take it.
Well, that the national media has like done a 180 on the Vikings since Cousins out and Dobbs is in now. Like everyone at ESPN's like, oh yeah, like Mina Kimes, who's like the biggest Vikings haters now. Like, I love this team. It's like,
well, they've done that with the Raiders
in the league.
They've done that with the Raiders too because of Pierce, but McDaniels is just a jerk off. So like, it was easy to hate him, and he was an idiot too. So,
So Bauer, you're still diehard Raiders guy. Watch every week.
But Bauer, you're that's insane, man. Because if I had gotten sued like you did, I don't know, like that'd be difficult to handle. I know, and I remember your channel because that's insane. So. Yeah, but they're hardcore that way. So because like I have a friend here on the island, and he actually, you're talking about Nickelodeon. He writes like soundtracks and stuff for. I'm gonna actually put him on the show one time for like Nickelodeon cartoons and shows and stuff. So Sam Spence, the famous NFL film composer. Yeah. He had a place here too.
Raider,
yeah. So before Sam died, he asked my friend, his name is Chris, to rewrite a bunch of his music, but do it kind of like more modern. So I'll even send it to you. He did a remake of the Raiders theme, and he did a remake of the Magnificent 11, it's called, right? And he posted them, on YouTube. This would have been like 2015, 2016, something kind of like that area. And he actually got a call from the NFL saying, hey, you can't be posting this. Like, it's like copyrighted NFL songs. And he was like, Sam Spence, who wrote these songs, asked me to remake them for them. And actually, the Raiders own the rights to the Raiders theme. The NFL, they bought that from the league, but so they never bothered him. But when he did the Magnificent 11, they actually, bothered him about that. And I'll find the old article. I'll send it to you. The NFL totally ripped off Sam Spence. They made him sign a bogus contract and basically took the rights to all his music and stuff like that too. So.
I agree. Again, we got a lot to talk about in Raider lore, and I'd be honored if any of you would, be on a podcast or my show.
Because I have a very cool story.
Than whatever we're talking about now.
I have a very cool story about my principal being Al Davis's roommate in college. So I'll leave that for your podcast when I go.
Yeah. So can we connect on social medias or DMs or Twitters?
I think I follow you on Instagram.
What's your name? Because I get a lot sometimes.
Yeah. So it's called Profiting from Paradise. That's my name on Instagram.
Oh, were you the one that was? What was the other name for you? Income or something like that?
Addicted to profits.
No.
Addicted to profits. Are you addicted to profits?
Yeah, I'm addicted to profits. But on Instagram,
I thought you were a scammer, man. When I read those words, addicted to profits. People tell me, "Oh, invest in crypto, do this, do that," I was like, "Yeah, I don't know who these people are."
It's gonna go hard.
Michael, real quick, I want to ask you a deep question, real quick, for you, sir. So, since you're trying to bring back your film career, correct, and whatnot,
I'm just trying to just entertain and get back in the industry. I'm doing something right now.
Is there any like projects you kind of have your eye on, or by any chance, or anything like that going on, or no?
No, the strike is still technically not over. So I
thought it was over though.
Well, they came to a tentative agreement, but we have to sign on it, the members, and we have to approve it. And there's a lot of stipulations that are not going so well right now, and a lot of members are like, "Yeah, this doesn't make sense."
Like
so
the
technically,
money one?
I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about the stuff that we talked about today, but whatever. I'm here.
I mean, they said it was. I heard. I mean, I saw it. It's on Wikipedia, so it must be true.
You're reading headlines. They've reached a tentative agreement. You're reading headlines. They reached a tentative agreement. I did the same thing. So I promoted. I'm like, hey, the strike's over. I can do podcasts now. And but the truth of it is we have to vote on it, which I didn't know we were going to do. And they're having some issues. So it's not official yet.
So what's your take
It's
on like all
right
these?
there. They had a meeting today. I don't know what happened.
What's your take on all these big time actors like being there at these protests, supporting everybody? Does that mean a lot to the thing, or are they just trying to get some camera time? In your opinion?
Well, I mean, it's both. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I'm a small actor, and I respect the union. I've been kicked out of the union because I've done a project that was not SAG accredited, and I can know they're my residuals. They are my future if I have any, and I cannot mess up again because I'll be banned for life.
Really?
So,
wait. What'd you do that almost made them ban you?
I did a film, like an independent film, in like 2009 or 8 or 10, and I thought it was SAG accredited, stuff like that, and it wasn't. But many years later, it got sold to a production company, Kevin Smith's production company.
Yeah.
Or was it Kevin Smith? It might have been a different one. But long story short, they had to get all the movies. They were buying all these movies because they wanted to create a streaming service.
Right.
And then they had to put it through SAG and do it officially with contracts and this. And they're like, hey, this ain't a SAG movie, but you got a SAG actor in here. So then they had to contact SAG and say, hey, do you have the contracts for this movie? And they're like, no, we didn't even know about that movie. So they investigated and they're like, Michael, you did a non-union film. You got paid for it. Basically, you were being a scab. So they kicked me out of the union. And then I had to write a letter, apologize, told them how I messed up, how I'll never do it again. Then I had to pay another like $3,000 or whatever it was to get back into the union if they approved me. And what was the other thing? Oh, then I have a card, my SAG card, that said member since like 1988. And now I had to join again, and I got all that removed. And that goes to disability. That goes to, what's the word? Money when you retire, retirement. Sorry, my brain. So now my card says member since like 2011.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
And it just bothers me because it's like, but I know people know that I've been an actor longer, but so that's why I turn down independent movies and stuff like that a lot because they're not union oriented, and I cannot lose my history in SAG anymore because it's our life, man.
You put your life into it.
Yeah, and plus it's residuals, and they give us jobs. If I pursue acting jobs, they literally got options for actors, and I could also become a SAG extra. If even I don't get one line in a movie, to make money, to maybe get benefits or whatever, again, not Medi-Cal, but like a health insurance.
Yeah.
I'm on Medi-Cal now from the government, thank goodness. But I can work as an extra, and I get like $300 a day or something being an extra. Albeit that would be a downward move, and it might hurt my pride, to be walking around in the background of a movie with other actors that I've worked with or whatever. But I need to make $300 a day, and I might possibly have to do something like that in my life. Right. I have to humble myself to get the $300 for that job.
Well, real quick, before we end the episode, sir, I just want to show the super chat real quick. This one says, the best episode ever, Bauer rules. Can he come back for 33?
No, dude, you're awesome, man.
Yeah,
Thank you. Tiny Chud, I think I've seen him on my channel, so thank him. It's a funny name. It sounds like
Tiny Chud. Yeah, I got it.
Sounds like my penis, but
So I got a quick question for you though, Michael. Real quick.
I got a Tiny Chud. Who cares?
Michael, real quick. I do have a quick question for you, sir. No, you're probably hung like a fucking.
No,
elephant.
I'm not. They've already made videos about me telling my truth, and they've already wanted to make fun of me and expose me because I was vulnerable at one moment in my life, and I just wanted to say something for myself.
But I bet if you lose some weight, your piece will grow a little bit.
Hey, Michael, already tell you when would like to have you on again. The Raiders are finishing the season against the Broncos. It's 30 years later after your grandfather unfortunately passed away, and it's a season finale.
30 years.
Broncos again.
Wow.
So you should be. But come on, and
You sure that game was 2003? I mean,
it was
93.
1993. I know the game you're talking about.
He knows everything.
I know
I thought
everything.
it was like 90 or 91.
Read my blog. I'm a total nerd when it comes to Raiders.
Okay.
Hey, he's insane.
Yeah,
But Michael,
Yeah.
real quick, I have a quick question for you, sir, before you leave. What's your take
I'm not
on
leaving. Like, if you want to stay here all night, I got nothing going on. Bro.
I know these
You
guys
are
though.
my everything.
I
it's
love you,
almost
buddy.
midnight here. I want to go to bed soon. So yeah.
No, but I want to ask one more question though for this gentleman right here. What's your take on?
And I had such a good time, Mir.
Yeah.
I will gladly, if I'm feeling healthy and feeling good, and I literally have the time, I will gladly come on again. No donation or whatever you help me with required.
I appreciate that.
I promise you, I'll be in touch. I had such a good time.
What's your take on like Andy Dick and the Stuttering Johns? Like, what's your take on those guys where they're at? I mean,
Baba Booey.
Like, does Hollywood eat you up like you've seen like what happens to Andy Dick? Does it do it to you like that, or would you ever like want to interact with that person again at any point in time, or no?
They've never done anything to me. I mean, technically, but besides saying some comments that freaked me out at the moment, so I have no problem with anybody. Again,
Okay.
what I read and see and hear, I don't believe the mainstream narrative of anything, of the breath in our skies or so. But yeah, unless they've done something to me personally that I don't F with, no, I have no problem. But what was the other question about? Will it eat me alive or something?
Well, just like I think he's kind of referencing like the aging of maybe some of these people who had a big career, and I think you see it sometimes in like women. Maybe if they're like
sad. It's sad
yeah.
to humble yourself. Oh, Desiree.
Thanks, Desiree.
She's a great person in my life, so she's saying hello.
Oh,
and I told her never to.
Thank you,
I told her
Desiree.
never to donate because a lot of people live on fixed incomes, and myself included. And I tell her don't donate, but she loves to.
But I think I want to end it there, Michael. You were honestly an honor, sir, to have on the show. It was nice. It was a nice breath of just reassurance that there are good people in the world. And thank you so much for coming on, sir. And
I had a great time.
Chow, Chow, do you want to say some last things before ATP does? Then we'll move towards Michael. I want to kind of go in a row here real quick with everybody.
No, it was a pleasure getting to talk to you, man. Like I said, I watched you as a kid, and I've seen some of your stuff, like the movie Dude, Where's My Car? And then I followed you for a while, so it was really cool to get to talk to you. And you're a really funny dude and very knowledgeable about a lot of stuff. So I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no worries. I appreciate you.
David, do you have anything to say for the show?
No, it was a lot of fun. It was like, yeah, acting to conspiracy theories to Raiders. Like, where else are you gonna hear that?
To not being to having to do the podcast on my phone.
Yeah, phone.
Starting late.
I had Bohemian. Our internet here is sometimes not the best. I had technical issues at the start myself.
Me too.
Yeah. So
just one of those nice, but
yeah. Michael, it was an honor to meet you, sir. Michael, do you have any lasting? Do you want to plug anything, sir? Do you have anything to say real quick before we go?
Well, I'd like to plug some girl's anal cavity for.
Yes, sir. Oh my God, I can't
Get
wait.
it out there.
All right, well, goddamn, buddy.
Dirty
Michael,
watching.
Michael, I will be in contact with you very soon, sir, about another possible show that I have planned in my mind for the next.
Yeah, any football days are bad for me though. Like Monday,
what days?
Thursday
I'm
night,
the same way.
Sunday
Dude,
is so bad for me. I love football so much that I just.
I'm the same way, dude. These guys try to do like podcasts Monday night. I'm like, nah, sorry, I ain't making it. yeah.
No, but Michael, it was an honor to meet you, sir, and thank you so much for actually like just filling some of my childhood dream right here, just meeting you. It was an honor, sir.
You're 26. How do you even know of me? Like
evolution,
like
baby. Evolution. I watched that shit like crazy as a 10-year-old. I loved it. You're awesome in that with Ethan. You guys are nuts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. We didn't even finish that story, man. So much to talk about. We'll do it on another time. But yeah, no, I appreciate it. And just to end the question, because I'll think about it forever because I have anxiety and all that. It's sad to like grow out of the industry when you still want to be in it, and whether they accept you when you're older in life and not. You have to humble yourself, and you have to realize it don't effing matter. If that's my dream, I am no more famous or rich or anything than anybody else, and I am just like every single person. I just want to wake up, go to a job, earn some living, pay my bills, and you cannot let the, what did you call it, typecasting of Hollywood and not doing, you can't let it into your heart. So that's why we go to YouTube and we create when we have the passion. But it just sucks that people see me as one thing, and then later in life, maybe I'm at a bad stage in my life and I'm depressed or whatever I'm dealing with, and then they no longer see me as that person because, oh, now he's a loser. Now he's this person. But life is about changing, and we're going to be a different person 1 year from now that we are 2 years from earlier. It's just. But I'm humble enough to know that I'm not saying this in a derogatory way, but I am just like every one of you. I have issues, financial, mental, emotional. I have everything that you all have. And I just want to be a good human. And I try to stay away from negativity and, people berating me or whatever. I need to stay away from it. I'm trying to be more positive, but it doesn't work, but I'm trying.
God bless you, man. God
Thank you,
bless.
Be positive, man.
Everyone who watched, thank you so much for coming in real quick and just saying your piece. I love everybody. Michael, thank you so much again for coming on. Chow, it was an honor to have you on, sir. David, thank you so much, brother. Go Raiders, go Eagles, go Vikings.
I don't love everyone. Half the people in the chat are worth crap to me. So
everyone in the chat, thank you for tuning in. Everyone watching, thank you so much. And I'll catch everybody next time. See you, boys.
Next time.
Peace.